everybody, and welcome to Upper St. Clair Panther Stadium, where it is Youth Night they're celebrating, and it is a big football game here tonight for the Panthers. The Upper St. Clair Panthers coming in at 6-2 will be battling the Moon Tigers, really with a playoff spot on the line tonight. We will get into that in a second. I want to introduce my tag team partner tonight, and what a blessing it is to have him here. Class of 2016, played football and hoops, was a football player at Dayton. And he's back working at PNC Bank now in town and back to call a football game with me tonight, and one that is very meaningful for the Panthers. So, Ryan Harkleroad, thank you for joining me. It's great to have you here tonight.
Oh, the blessing's all mine, Gav. Super excited. Like you said, Western Pennsylvania high school football, big matchup tonight. Does not get better than this.
And it feels like a high school football night. There's a crisp Christmas to the air.
Football weather.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So let's set the scene first. Now, the Panthers are 6-2. They're having an excellent season, but both losses were in conference. Everybody's lost to Peters. Nobody has played them competitively. The big loss was the Bethel Park game because this Moon team beat Bethel Park 42-34 last Friday, putting Moon in the driver's seat for that second playoff spot. If the Panthers are to win tonight, there will be a horde of teams at 2-2. That will be Peters, Bethel, that will be Bethel, Moon, and St. Clair. And then with St. Clair having the easiest of the matchups at South Fayette next week. And then, it comes down to Gardner points and some tiebreakers. But they're really in a good position if they can win tonight. But that is a big if, because this Moon football team is excellent. Yeah,
really talented squad. I mean, you look up and down size along the roster, unique style of offense that you don't really see every single Friday night, one that'll be a tough matchup for the Panthers.
Yeah, so let's get into that a little bit. Most of the teams these days, for right or wrong, good or bad, are spreading the field. You're seeing a lot of receivers. You're seeing a lot of read option. You're seeing a lot of modern concepts for what people judge as modern in today's football. Moon has actually taken it back. They run some form of a wing tee, a lot of power, but they run tempo with that. Ryan, is this something you've seen? Is this something you have any experience with?
I mean, as I'm sure anyone who's watched football knows, all the service academies, they run triple option, some kind of wing tee offense, but they run it at a slow pace. They bleed 35 seconds off that play clock as much as they possibly can. I think it'll be a unique challenge for the Panthers, and especially those guys that play both ways, facing a rushing attack, up-tempo offense, then the style of offense they actually run as well, pretty quick as well. I think it'll be a good test for their conditioning. Okay, so let's talk. There are a couple things to talk about here that I want to get sort of your take on. First and foremost, as the Panthers come roaring out of the tunnel, Moon has a huge roster, okay? They have probably 1.5 times the number of guys the Panthers have. Because of that, Moon is able to play a lot of guys, and they don't have to play as many guys both ways, particularly on the line. Secondly, obviously this type of offense is a particular challenge on the line of scrimmage and otherwise. Can you talk a little bit about some of the, I guess they like to call it assignment football or whatever, some of the challenges that come along with, first the fatigue playing both ways, and the second of stopping this particular offense from the defensive side? Yeah, so I think it's this kind of offense, like you said, it's assignment football. Every person along that front and along that front seven really has who they are responsible for on every single play. When you get fatigue in there, and especially high school athletes, but athletes in general, when fatigue comes to play, there could be mental mistakes. There could be lapses in judgment, and that's really what you can't afford, because next thing you know, a fullback's running 60 yards down the middle of the field.
Yeah, so let's talk about the keys tonight here. Now, when we talk about the Moon Tigers, there are two guys that seem to pop in terms of both numbers and production. The first is the fullback. Oftentimes, if you watch the service academies, you realize that the first thing you have to stop is kind of a fullback dive. When you have a fullback, the size and speed combination of Nazir Brookins, that is a really difficult thing to deal with. And the other guy that we're going to be dealing with, and this is a name, if you've dealt with Moon football over the past several years, this is a name you probably remember because his brother Ben was outstanding 2 years ago here. Josh Bladell, who's a total wrecker on both sides of the ball, both carrying it and certainly on the defensive side. So, Ryan, let's talk a little bit about what you would say the keys are now for the Panthers, conversely, dealing with an opponent like this.
So I think first and foremost, it's your keys. You need to tackle the dive, you need to play the pitch, whatever your responsibility are in that play. I mean, I think it's Patriots say it best. Bill Belichick, do your job. Do your job on that play defensively. That's number one key. Can't let up any explosive plays to an offense like that. And number two is, I think, the way that you prevent an offense like that on keeping you on the field for longer and for wearing you down is sustain some drives on offense. Keep the O on the field. put a bunch of points on the board and create your own explosive plays. I think it's going to be like a twofold game in that aspect.
And it'll be interesting to see. The Panthers seem to find something on the offensive side of the ball the second half, particularly the fourth quarter last week. They moved the ball consistently in the second half, which is something we haven't seen in the past couple weeks. Ethan Hellman, interestingly enough, got going with his feet a lot, which, it's been interesting to watch Ethan. He's so athletic, but he's always creating space to throw. Now he's starting to use his legs a little bit more. And the second was he established using his brother Van Hellman in the passing game, which I thought was very interesting. I was teasing Van this week. I was like, man, that quarterback finally is throwing you the football. he started laughing because Van Hellman, if you watched him on the freshman team as a ninth grader, was an outstanding receiver. So it's not surprising. Any keys tonight in terms of you think the St. Clair team on the offensive side of the ball to try to be a little more consistent with their drives and points?
I think you have very, very good playmakers like we talked about prior to coming on. I think the number one key there is get your guys the ball in space, let your guys make plays. Let your very, very good athletes make very, very good plays. I think that's the number one key there for the Panthers is getting the ball to the guys they want to get the ball to and allowing them to make the plays.
So it looks like the four captains tonight are big. Marco Carone, the senior, who congratulations to Marco. He just committed to Penn for football. What a school.
Smarter than you and I, right?
Yeah, Marco's a fabulous kid. I'm very, very proud of him. Charlie Bywalski looks like number 8. Was out there as one of the captains. Bennett Henderson, the kicker, 99. And I'm trying to see who the other one was. I think it was probably Cam Phillips, the linebacker. But, this Panther team, they know how big this game – oh, Michael Albert, 87 was the other. Excuse me, Mike. So this Panther team knows how big this game is. I talked to a bunch of the kids this week. It would be hard to be more locked in than they were this week. Coach Junko said they had some great practices. So it'll be really interesting to see how they respond, to a challenge like this.
Yeah, totally agreed. But great practices are awesome leading up to the game, but now it's time to perform and show. So let's see what the Panthers have tonight.
It is. So, hey, we're about to kick this baby off to set the stage. Our Panthers are in their home blacks, the All Blacks. They're going to be going right to left on your screen. It looks like the Panthers are going to kick off. I think they deferred, and that means Mr. Automatic, number 99, senior Bennett Henderson, will be the kickoff man. Moon in their road whites will be going left to right on your screen. And it looks like Samuel Wolslayer, who I was told is a very explosive player, a small sort of quick jitterbug type guy, is the guy you have to watch here to the near side of your screen here in the return game. Of course, when Bennett's doing his job, a lot of times there is no return.
Matter, yeah.
Although it's a chilly night, I'm guessing the ball, if this is an analogy like golf, the ball ain't going to travel as quite as well tonight as it has.
A little bit of a harder ball, yeah.
All right, so let's get it going here. Henderson kicking it deep, and it is deep. It's all the way to the goal line. Looks like the ball hadn't crossed. He had a foot in the end zone, but nothing else. Gets it across the 20. Nice job. Pushed him back. That looks like Carter Stein, 24. Cam Phillips, 44, bringing him down. Pretty good coverage from the Panthers.
Yeah, great. I mean, couldn't ask for much better. Good hang from your kicker. Pretty much right in the goal line. I mean, that's about as good as you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it was close because if the ball in any way gets to the goal line, it's automatically a touchback. It was obviously close, but, it was fine. Only a 3-yard advantage. Moon will start at 1st and 10 from the 23, and all we talked about was the wing tee, and what do we see now? We see a more conventional formation of, a wing back, 2 receivers, and a back in the backfield. Looks like they got a nap, and they're going to shift back now.
Shift to it.
But their quarterback is going in motion, Andrew Cross, now to the receiver, and they got a sidecar here.
Wildcat.
Yeah, this is very strange. And they're going to run left. Van Hellman is chasing. Van Hellman's going to get him. Oh, Cam Phillips with a big stick, and that's going to be a 3-yard loss. Great pursuit from Hellman and Phillips.
So we talk about doing your job. Outside guy, cornerback, no one outside of you. See what happens. Running back or quarterback in this instance is forced to cut it back. All your buddies are coming there to clean it up. Great play. Yeah, so Braden Stewart, 11, who's the backup quarterback, I guess, also a receiver, trying to do a lot of different things. Now let's see. There's a lot of pre-snap movement here. This makes it even harder to defend this wing tee. No, absolutely. Now this is this looks like a little more conventional. Here's the pitch. He's going wide. Oh, he's got a lot of room. Oh, and that was a really nice tackle because it looked like it was going to be a big gainer. That looks like number 6, Paul Bronaugh, came in motion and took a bit of a pitch, and he got about a 7-yard gain. So based upon the loss on first down, it looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 4. And here you go, like you said, right in the ball, coming right at you. So the Panthers, this is going to sort of interesting what the Panthers are doing. They got a little more bulk in the game. It looks like 74 Reese Perrine, the sophomore, is starting, so they have almost 4 linemen starting here. Oh, looks like some motion there. Yeah, that's going to back him up. That's big.
So, no, I take it back. So, Harks, it looks like, so Brock Gillespie, their usual starting nose, number 55, the junior, has been sick all week. And I'm wondering if they're going to try to get him some more blows, only play him on offense, something like that. But Reese Perrain, now Perrain's coming off.
Yes, it looked like they went to more of they had 4 down linemen, then an outside linebacker walked up the edge, more of like a bare 5 down front, and then now obviously they're pushed back and more of what they consider a passing down, take the big guy off the field, get an extra athletic guy out there. Not that the big guys aren't athletics.
Yeah, so Michael Albert, 87, who's going to play some nose, some defensive end. He's probably more of a pass rusher, is in. And looks like Banbury, Corey, and Hellman again at the linebacker spot. So pretty conventional here. And of course, Cam Phillips. 3rd and 9. They fake the handoff. Ooh, nice little cross-buck interior handoff, and that's going to be a first down. Boy, and this is what they talked about, the misdirection being difficult. They fake the handoff outside, interior handoff, first down.
Yeah, little counter action. St. Clair goes light, like we said, taking the extra big body off the field in favor for a defensive back linebacker type on 3rd down. And Moon, I wonder if they just checked right to it and saw the big gap there and just ran their counter.
Yeah, and that's why it's hard, man. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of pre-snap movement, a lot of misdirection. It's going to be tough for the Panthers. So it looks like another pre-snap penalty on the Tigers, and the Panthers are going to have to take advantage of this stuff, because one thing about this offense is they're going to move forward a lot. They're going to get positive gains, so the Panthers are going to have to take advantage of
keeping an O like this behind the sticks is very, very beneficial if you're a defense. These offenses typically aren't designed. Now, this is an atypical kind of wing T triple option offense, but these offenses typically aren't designed for 3rd and 9 like we just saw there, or even getting behind the sticks of 1st and 15. They're designed 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. The next thing you know, you're there in the red zone.
So my first instinct was correct. They are starting a 4-down lineman rather than their typical 3. Carone has moved to like a defensive tackle, and oh no, they got him on the corner, and he's going to get a big gain there. And that's going to be about a 13, 14-yard. Oh, they may say got all the way to the first down, a 15-yard gain. So this is not the start the Panthers wanted on what seemed to be sort of a simple off tackle.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just right off tackle left, and it's, two really good plays for Moon. But other than that, St. Clair's really stifled up. So like you said, they got to limit these explosive plays if they want to be successful here.
So now Mason Geyer's coming in the game. They got 5 down linemen. This is interesting adjustments here from the Panther defense. So he's going along the line. Is he going to try to throw? He's not. That's great pursuit. Very nice. Cam Phillips, the senior middle linebacker, for another 3-yard loss. They did a nice job stringing that out. Charlie Bywalski, the outside linebacker particularly.
Yep, very good job. Defensive end, outside backer there, forcing it, continuing to string it out like you said, and then great job by Phillips, linebacker, keeping that outside arm free, getting off a block and making a play.
So now they're back to the 4 linebacker. I should mention the other guys who are in there. Dante Corey is to the bottom of your screen, a corner. Julian Dallum up top, and it looks like Nico D'Orazio at the 1 safety. This is the big guy. He's going to go off tackle. Uh-oh, he's got some room. Nice tackle by Walski, got him down, but not before he gets a 12 or 13-yard gain. That's Brona again, it looks like. And this is interesting, Harks, because what I expected to see was a little more like Naz Brookins really pounding it, and that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing more sort of trickery. They're getting wide, but they're getting huge gains.
Yeah, they must have seen something on film. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time just in this drive alone they've run some kind of counter or trap concept to the outside. So, I think it's probably they're trying to create natural seams there, double teams the big guys and pulling guards, but
So that's more of the one where they just pounded it up the middle, and they're going to get about the 2 or 3 yards, and it's going to be a first down for the Panthers, or for the Tigers. So, it concerns you a little bit, Harks, that they've had 2 pre-snap penalties and still have not been able to stop them. And now they're probably in 4-down territory. So this is what worries you. We're already 4 minutes into the game, and Moon's grinding clock and really pushing the ball.
You've had these big defensive linemen about there not that the Moon O linemen, but they've been out there this whole drive too. So.
And there's Brookins, and he's going to get a lot of room. And when he has a head of steam, he's going to get downfield, and he's going to get probably almost to the lead stick. That's either 9 or 10. And, again, what we talked about in the open, this is what worries you. I'll be interested to see if the Panthers don't even worry about down and distance and go back to this 5. This is the 5 lineman formation. To me, you got to dare them to do something else.
They've been switching kind of between 3 fronts. This 5 down with 5 D linemen. They've had a 4 down with an extra backer and then 3 down. And I think they're just trying to see, what's going to stick at this point.
Yep. So here's the quarterback. He's going to go, and Van Helman does a nice job. It's going to be a first down, but he only got about a yard. And, that looked a little better. When you have 5 linemen, maybe that's a little more room to shoot gaps with linebackers.
Definitely.
So it looks like they're going to say he got no gain. So it's still going to be 3rd and 1. Small victories, I guess, at this point.
I find it hard to believe that this ball isn't in 26 belly here. I mean, doesn't even look like he's on the field.
He's not. I know he's a really good defensive player, but maybe this is where the big roster comes into play. This is big number 40. Looks like Nicholas Clemens in sort of a wildcat-ish. And he's going to get it easy. Perrine's in there, but not before he's got at least 3. So Moon's just sort of – oh, no, that's Bladel. Excuse me. That's 48. I should have expected that. And so, Moon is doing sort of what I expected them to do, but maybe not the same method I expect them to do it. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of window dressing that comes with any offense, especially one like this. But from what they're running, it's ISO, it's counter, it's power, it's off tackle. It's nothing really unique that St. Clair wouldn't have been unprepared for. So.
Okay, got it. And there they are off tackle, and that's another pretty good game. That's going to be about 8, maybe even 9. And, Brona running hard off tackle. So it's been, like you said, a lot of sort of similar stuff, but the Panthers are not showing a lot of resistance right now, and Moon is a big, strong team, and this was kind of what the coaches were worried about when I talked to them this week.
Yeah, they've been really attacking. They must really love their left side of their line because you see them consistently running behind. I think it's 59 and 73, their big linemen over there.
Here's the big guy, Brookins, again. He makes a little move. He's still on his feet. He's pushing down. He gets all the way down to the 15 for a gain of about 7 and another first down for Moon. Wow.
And I think that's their third down. They've all been 3rd and short except for the 3rd and 9. But, I think there's their 3rd or 4th third down conversion of this drive. Really demoralizing as a defender.
So a timeout was called from Coach Junko. Might just be regrouping. It has been there has been 6.5 minutes of the clock already, and just banging it up. Nothing simple. They've not thrown the ball yet, and it's been first down. So a little concerning from the Panthers, but again, this is why you make the big bucks. It's very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how the Panther defensive staff, Coach Donati and the crew adjust.
Yeah, and at this point, what happened on the drive has happened so far. Kind of is what it is. Now you're in the money zone. You're in the red zone. Get a stop or keep them out of the end zone or hold them to 3. I think here that's your goal if you're St. Clair is to no touchdown here.
Yeah, absolutely. Gillespie's over there, so it's going to be interesting to see if Brock Gillespie comes into the football game. I know he was sick this week, and but just these football players and the way they're wired, it's just hard for me to believe that he isn't begging to get in the football game as quickly as possible. And Brock Gillespie is a really important guy for this Panther football team.
Yeah, especially a big guy up front. Like we've seen all drive, they can use a lot more guys eating space up front.
Yeah, well, they are. Reese Brand, who's going to be a really good football player, but he's a sophomore. That's tough on the line. And Mason Geyer, who's the starting center, they're just trying to probably rotate in bodies, and it's a good idea. But at the end of the day, you have some guys who have not gotten that many reps on the defensive side of the ball yet.
No, Mason Geyer actually coached him when he was in kindergarten in flag football. You're making me feel old now, Gav.
How do you think I feel, man? I have you guys every week up in the booth, guys I remember from 7th grade travel on. But age is one of those things that the calendar does not lie. Nobody's bragging about being older, at least not at my age. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 15. Let's hope the Panthers are grouped a little bit after that timeout and can show a little bit more stoutness here at the point of attack. Looks like it's 4 linemen at this point.
4D line with an overhang linebacker to the strength.
Yeah, look at this formation. It's basically 10 guys, now 11 guys, all sort of in there. There's the fake handoff. Going to go up the gut. We got a flag. I don't know if it was a face mask or a hold or something, but now they got it. Well, so I bet that second flag is the new rule that you cannot push from behind, the tush push like they call it in the NFL. You are not allowed to push a ball carrier from behind in high school. So it could be 2 flags on Moon. It could be a hold and that.
Yeah, that first flag was in the vicinity of whether it's going to be a hold or a face mask or hands to face, something along those lines. The second one, like you said, I think pretty much know what we expect there.
So, okay, they're backing him up. So that's the hold. And then I'll be interested to see this second flag. So maybe it was 2 holds.
Yeah, it could have been a second flag.
Yeah, I thought the second one, to be perfectly honest, was the pushing, which is hard not to do in this formation.
Especially when you see the scrum. It's almost like a rugby scrum going up there.
Because it's funny. I've always thought that was a rule generally, but it's become so popular in the pros and college that everybody does it. And then I've seen it flagged twice this year now in high school. So the one game I was losing my mind, and Coach Robbins told me after the game, he was like, "Yeah, that's the new rule. It's a point of emphasis." I said, "I feel like an idiot now."
Oh, those point of emphasis rules are always called way, way more than they should be.
Yeah, at least early in the season. It's like when the officials tell us they're going to focus on hand checking this year, last 2 games. All right, here's the big guy. He's going off tackle, Brookins, and there's big Nate Stoll, 58. Gillespie is in the game now too, but Nate Stoll, it looks like, so he's the guy who's going to have to be stout at that side if they're going to run left. And Nate Stoll, he's a great pass rusher, but he's going to have to be really strong against the run tonight.
Yes, you've seen a little bit of momentum for the Panthers. They stopped them short on the first play, then brought them back for 10 yards, and then now a little stuff here. Let's see if they can hold them here, like we said. 3, not 7.
Yeah, 2nd and 20. And again, I think you're thinking run right now because until they show me they're going to throw the ball at all, I'd be so it's going to be a pitch end around. Is he looking to pass? He is, but there's a lot of room. Dallum went up now and he's wide open. That's going to be an easy touchdown. Basically, Dallum had to decide essentially, do I take the ball carrier or do I leave the receiver? He left the receiver and he was wide open, 40 Clemens, and that is going to be a touchdown for the Moon Tigers. Boy, this offense is really sort of has the Panthers befuddled right now.
Really methodical drive, couple explosive plays capped off by the scoring drive there. St. Clair, they're going to have to regroup, focus on their own now, and then let's figure out what we can do with D. It seemed like they kind of found something with the rushing attack there, maybe switching a couple bodies around or switching how they're lining up on D, but definitely not encouraging if you're a Panther fan.
Yeah, I mean, so the extra point try is up, and it is through. I was very complimentary of Ryan Lynn 2 years ago in this game. I thought they were just extremely well prepared, and the one thing I thought about them was they really played to their strengths and did what they were good at, and sort of my scouting report on them this year, what I was told was that's what they do again. And again, some of the first drives sometimes are scripted and you're using a lot of your creative stuff, but that was a very impressive drive from the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, to run the kind of offense, especially with a lot of the window dressing that we saw, the little shifts, different motions, has to be a well-coached team. Moon really on top of it in that first drive.
Yeah, so I think that probably, if you're the Panthers, one of the real discouraging thing was 3 penalties on Moon that drive, and you still were not able to get a stop. So
three penalties that would typically be drive killers, 2 bad false starts as well as a holding down in the red zone, and then still Moon getting in the end zone.
Yeah, so hey, let's not get doom and gloom here. It's only 7-0 game, only 4:41 in the first quarter. But, yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes you hear about the trends heading into a football game and what you were supposed to worry about from when I talk to the coaches and things. And when it happens so vividly on the first drive, you get concerned. That's me being a coach.
Yep, and I bet you if you were to ask Moon and then conversely St. Clair how they would or would not want to start the game, it would probably be exactly how that just played out.
Correct, exactly. So, all right, but the good news is the Panthers offense, like I said, seemed to find something in the second half of the Cannon-McMillan football game that they came back and won, scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. And so, the hope is, as usual, they can hit some explosive plays, possess the ball. They're going to have to rest their defense anyway. And, it doesn't matter if you win 42-35 or 7-6.
A win is a win is a win.
Correct. As one of my favorite coaching professionals, Coach Dapp, used to say, win by 1. There's no style points. All right, so the Moon is going to put the ball back in play here. 4:41 to go in the first quarter. They score first and lead 7-0. They're going to go short here. It's picked up by, is that by Walski? That is Charlie. He makes a nice little jitterbug and gets to about the 30-31 yard line. So pretty good field position for the Panthers.
We always in football and any sport in general, it's all about response. So here's the Panthers. Moon, very, very strong opening drive. Now it's on the Panthers to respond.
Yeah. Another thing that'll be interesting to see here, Harks, is the kicking game always a big advantage almost for the Panthers because Bennett's one of the best high school kickers I've ever seen.
He's making 53-yarders in warm-up.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I've seen him hit 55 comfortably. But, if it comes down to a kicking thing, Moon's, squibbing kicks and their extra point didn't look super confidence-inducing. So that's something to watch for. All right, so here is Ethan Hellman, the sophomore. Mason Chambers, the senior. He's going to get through a gap, get about 4, a pretty good gain there for Mace, and a flag comes in, and it looks like 15 on the defense there. I don't know what happened there.
Number 6, it looked like play was over. Pile Foreman behind a St. Clair receiver and just threw him over the pile. I mean, right in front of the ref, pretty much. Doesn't get easier than that.
I saw the penalty. I just didn't understand why. It didn't seem like there's been enough things happening to get any beef yet. It might have been something stemming from last drive. Let's set the offense from the Panthers here. Ethan Hellman, the sophomore quarterback. Mason Chambers, the senior, is our tailback, number 5. Our receivers are Bryce Jones, number 9, the sophomore, to the near side of the screen. Ethan Dallum, the junior, number 2. Charlie Bywalski, the junior, number 8. And then Van Hellman, number 23, is the wing back. But look for him to be good in the pass game. He was last week. We'll set the line after the next stoppage. Here's Hellman. He's looking wide to Dallum. Jules makes one guy, can't quite make him miss. But he stays it up. He's going to get about maybe 2 or 3.
A good team defense from Moon there, but something I do like the Panthers, and we talked about getting the ball to your athletes in space. They send Dallum in motion, send him right into the flat, so defender can't really get hands on, and he also gets that running start right to the flat there. So, I mean, wow, Moon, great team defense, team tackling there. I think that's something that's positive if you're the Panthers.
Yep. Offensive line, we got Marco Carone, Nate Stoll, Mason Geyer, Brock Gillespie, and Bobby Fleckenstein to set the scene here. This is Dallum now out of the Wildcat. Direct snap to him. He's going to get about 2 or 3. They're getting positive plays. They're in Moon territory, but now we've got a 3rd and let's say about 5. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Junko and the Panthers come up with here.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much, in my opinion, this is a go no matter what. So I'd be running the ball here and then going on 4th down. But I'll be interested to see what the Panthers do, especially after that Moon drive.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have gotten a little pass happy early in games lately. So I'd like to see them keep it on the ground. Here's Mason. He's going to bang it forward. He's getting, he gets about 3-ish, maybe 4. So he's going to get about to the 42. So looks like we got about 1.5 yards or so left here.
Some big bodies coming on the field, too.
Yeah, so I think you're right here. That's probably why you saw what you saw. I think you called that exactly correct. But Mike Albert checking into the game along with Carter Stein at the fullback. 45 I don't even have on the roster, but it's another tight end.
Little full house shotgun here,
Maybe
too.
That might be Beck Shields. It kind of looks like him. Who's 22 on my roster. But
Moon, no one deep. There's 0 blitzing here for sure.
So it's going to go to Mace. Mace is going to bang it up. He's going to get it easy. Good stuff off the right side of the line. That's really encouraging. Bobby Fleckenstein, the right tackle, and Brock Gillespie, the right guard, did a really nice job there moving some guys, and that's important right there.
I got some goosebumps watching that play. St. Clair, full house backfield, Moon, everyone up on the line of scrimmage, and they said, who cares, big on big, we're going to run it right down their throat.
Coach Render had to love that. That was a very Coach Render-like look and a Coach Render. Yeah, he loved it.
He'd be on the ball running the same play.
Yeah, Coach got a big smile on his face, so I'm happy to hear that. But that looked beautiful. So we got a 1st down for the Panthers at the Moon 39, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and this is Dallum again. So Jules is going to go off tackle again. He's going to go in tight. Oh, boy, he almost skipped through that, but he got about 3 or 4. Good gain.
Yeah, you can see, like you said, Panthers previous games come out a little pass happy. I think their intentions have been pretty clear so far to start.
And that's not surprising. It's not just possess the ball, keep the defense off the field. It's also early in games, you get 3 and outs quick. That can be a little demoralizing. Mm-hmm. I thought the offense, again, the beginning of Cannon Mack game, that's how it looked. All right, so 2nd and about 7 or 6. This is Mason Chambers turning it up. He keeps going. He's got those strong legs like a lot of wrestlers do. Gets to about the 33-yard line for a gain of 3. It was well dead before they pulled that ball out, and they're keeping on schedule here, as Park likes to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do we got? No, go. What do we got? 3rd and 4?
Yeah, I was going to say 3rd and 4 again. Interested to see what the Panthers do here. I'm 100% keeping it on the ground here, and if you're short, you're short. You see really no decision. I was looking down at Coach Junk on the last 3rd down, and it was 3rd down short. He was right in his next play call. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Panthers here.
And they're moving it pretty good. Mason's getting forward now. Now it's going to be Hellman. He's going across. That look, boy, he just had him. He had a hold of him the entire time. Maybe it was not a competitive enough sort of play to draw that flag, but I'll tell you what, it looked like a lot of holding.
Yeah, a little RPO there, I think, for the Panthers. They like the matchup. I mean, who wouldn't like Dahlem one-on-one on anyone here? But clearly like the matchup there and getting the ball. I'm kind of surprised that there was no flag there.
Yeah, so Dahlem clearly was signaling like he wanted one, but no call is made. So now we got 4th and 4. It's a fairly big play here early in the game, late in the first quarter, and this is going to be empty set. It's Hellman. He throws, and they were just staring right at Dahlem, and Moon was all over that. Nicholas Perzoli, number 1, knocks it down, and the Panther drive is going to stall with no points. And as we head towards the end of the first quarter here, Harks, that's a pretty big momentum shift.
Huge momentum shift, but I think the Panthers definitely can take solace, and they converted on 4th down. They were running the ball well, and then they kind of get in that 3rd down, and they're trying to get a matchup on the outside with Dahlem, which we talked about. I mean, totally a favorable matchup for the Panthers there, but I think the rushing momentum they had there is definitely a positive takeaway on that drive.
All right, so the other thing we got to watch for, and I talk about it a lot, is turnovers. There's a lot of different ball handling here from Moon. Hopefully, maybe they put it on the ground a time or two. That's that can be big momentum shifts too.
Absolutely.
All right, so the Tigers back on the offensive set. It's that fake again. They're going to go wide. Stoll was in the backfield there, forces him back to the inside, and they clean it up for not much there. Looked like Mason Geyer, 70, along with Johnny Banbury, number 6, make the tackle, but that happened because Nate Stoll sort of stopped the pursuit.
Yeah. It's do your job. No one outside of you. If you're the contained man, no one outside, force it back to your help, and that's what they keep trying that left side. And the last couple times they've tried it, it's definitely been Stoll stuffing it.
Well, that's going to be the last play of the first quarter, and it's only 7:30. Goes to show you, Harks, when everybody's running the ball, these games go really quickly. But boy, that went insanely quickly that quarter. And Harks, what's your takeaway here from quarter 1?
I mean, I think it's hard not to be impressed by the way that Moon moved the ball on offense, and I think that St. Clair kind of going away from the rushing attack at the end there. It's a little bit interested to see how they're going to go from here. I think St. Clair absolutely needs to get a stop here, and then when they get the ball back, what they're going to do offensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, Harks. I've been gaining some sort of solace or confidence about St. Clair getting them behind the sticks or getting stuffed. It's not like every play's been gashed. They've had losses, they've had stops, they've had penalties. It's just that the gains Moon have been big gains.
Yeah, and that's really, it just comes down to, again, in this kind of offense, assignment football. You're keeping contained, you're tackling the dive man, you're not letting anyone outside of you, and you're also pursuing to the football, so when the play gets forced back in, you have your buddies there to come help and clean up. So I think that it's continuing to consistently string those positive defensive plays together and limiting those explosives is going to be key for the Panthers here in the next 3 quarters.
Well, here's a question for you, somebody who's played a lot of line. Watching these offenses and how successful they are at this level, why don't more teams do this, considering probably one of the problems is you don't see it that much, and so it's probably a lot of teams don't practice against it.
So I think that when you have, I would say, a talent deficit, it becomes something that you can really lean on. Not saying that that's the case here, but just saying in general, I think that's where you're more likely to see it, like the Surface Academies, for example, in the college game. I think it becomes very simple to defend as you get more mature players and smarter players out there, players with more experience, because it really just does come down to that assignment football, tackling your keys and reading your keys. And as players go, I mean, you were talking about some of these guys might have only been playing football for 3-4 years here, and I think that once you get guys pros, college, have been playing for a long period of time, it becomes a lot easier to get what you would want and expect out of those people.
So I want to give a shout out to the class of 1993. They are celebrating their 30th year reunion tonight, which is awesome. A lot of them live here, and I had insomnia one night this week and watched the 1992-93 Whippeal Championship state finalist highlight film. I was talking to Coach Render about it before the game. I was a freshman in high school, and that was, those guys were my heroes. And it's awesome to see a bunch of them here tonight. I saw Dave Mandler before the game, Joe Viviano. Those dudes were awesome, and that was a great, great football team. So I might go to Pizzazz and see those guys after the game, depending on how tonight's game goes. All right, so we're back 2nd and 10 to start the second quarter. This is sort of a big play. If we can get them to 3rd and long, maybe I'd be a little more confident. There's a fake. There's that same play that, oh, boy, Van Helman stepped up and filled the hole hard. That's great stuff from 23.
And so I'd say one change I've noticed from the Panthers here is when they had their 5 down lineman or their 4 down lineman and they had an overhang player, it typically was a linebacker that was an overhang player. Now they're using 58 Nate Stahl as sort of that overhang player stand-up end, and I think you really see me in there. I think you'd have a smaller guy in where they're running on the first drive there, taking on the pulling guard or the pulling fullback, whatever it was there in the counter. You see a bigger body able to take that on, force it back inside right to your linebackers.
This worries me a little bit, Harks, because this is like a nickel or something like that, and it worries me that they're just going to bang it off tackle again.
Similar to did in the first drive, yeah.
Yeah, so no, they are going to throw. And they're going to go wide, and that had no chance. John Banbury had great coverage there. And there's the adjustments you talked about, Harks. And they did a great job on that drive. Guarded Clemens, the tight end, easily, and it's going to force a punt. 3 and out.
Yeah, and one of the things that you typically see when you play a team like this style, wing T, triple option, is you come out in the first drive. I remember when we were at Dayton, Davidson ran some kind of a spread option wing T, and they hit us first drive, 80-yard touchdown, first play of the game. I don't think they scored the remainder of the game after that. Sometimes it takes like 1 or 2 plays to kind of read it and feel it.
Oh, there it is. It's a long snap over his head. This is trouble. They're going to pick it up. Is he going to try to punt it? He is going to try to punt it, but he's got nothing. Hopefully it's not a safety. It's not. This is actually better, probably.
Huge, yeah.
The ball's down at the 2-yard line, so the Panthers have a great opportunity here. Good pressure from Dante Corey and Johnny Banbury. But, boy, you want to talk about – so I talked about turnovers being a momentum shift. I don't know if that's considered a turnover, but it'd be hard to find a bigger momentum shift.
You called it with – you said look out for a little bit of funkiness in the operation there in their PAT. I'm sure their long snapper and their short snapper, similar player. I mean, huge momentum shift. We're talking here at the end of the quarter like, oh, Moon's got the ball back. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen here. If they drive here, St. Clair could be in real trouble, and now it's a brand-new ball game. Yeah,
it is. Got to bang it in here. But, boy, this is where I compliment Coach Junko and his staff. Their special teams is always first rate. Braden Wells is a great snapper. Here we go. It's Mason Chambers up the middle. I think he's in. Touchdown. Mason Chambers. So let's go. The Panthers, with the extra point pending, will tie this game at 7 early in the second quarter. And, this is why I wouldn't want to coach football. There's a million reasons, but one of them is the momentum shifts are so palpable, and I'm an emotional guy. It's those are tough to sort of handle on the sideline.
Well, I'm sure as Coach Junko knows, his old man used to say it all the time, is you don't get too high, you don't get too low, keep sawing that wood. And Panthers, not going to get too low after that first drive, just keep pounding away, and they're rewarded.
All right, so here's Braden Wells I just talked about. Good snap. D'Orazio with the hold. Bennett Henderson, of course, dead down the middle. And it looks like a flag is down. And Harks, what I think this might be is that propelling thing on the – if that's a rule in high school, that's what the kid did.
Yep.
If that's
pushing over the top.
Correct. I don't know if that's a rule. He sort of came right over the middle and
or it could be lining up over the center too.
Oh, that could be too. I didn't think about that. I didn't think he lined up over the center, to be fair. I thought he sort of came in and did that propelling himself, but I don't know. We'll find out. But again, I take it for granted when we have a place kick and things like that, not just because Bennett is so good, but because Braden is so good and Nico's such a good holder that, at this level, I probably shouldn't take that for granted because it's not an automatic play.
And I'd be remiss to mention Coach Render's right down over here. Coach Junko has carried the special teams excellence St. Clair's had. Coach Render under Coach McKinney there for decades and decades, having phenomenal special teams. It's definitely continued with Coach Young.
Coach McKinney was up here a couple weekends ago. Coach McKinney and Coach
best.
TC were both up here a couple weekends ago. It was fabulous. It was like a reunion up here. But absolutely, they say that special teams is a third of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. And sometimes I sort of roll my eyes at that. I'm like, it's about 1/10 the number of plays. But when you see how impactful some of those plays are in terms of points, you can see why that is argued.
1/10 the number of plays, but I bet you there's a higher percentage of game-changing special teams plays than there are game-changing OD plays.
You're totally correct, and so that's why probably, again, these people who create these sayings know a lot more football than I do. So, again, my football is playing video games and, chucking deep balls. That's not really the way the actual game of football works. But this is a great trend here for the Panthers. Tied at 7 now with 10:57 to go in the second quarter, and that's a big penalty there because Bennett's going to be kicking from the 45, so it's a 15-yard penalty, whatever it was.
And so I wonder, I'm sure they just booted in the end zone. I wonder if they try something, trying to pop it up a little short and get down there and stop him inside that 20-yard line. I'd be interested to see the approach. I'd probably just kick it to the end zone. You have a phenomenal kicker, but
Lebo did it against us and got it.
If he's as talented as we know he is, I think that trying something like that, the coaching staff definitely would have faith in him doing something like that.
Oh, Bennett can do it. I mean, his directional kicking in terms of finding sidelines is incredible. But I will be interested to see. I don't know. I mean, I'm a gambler. I would absolutely try something like that. I think the smart play is to just boot it through the end zone and make him go 80 yards. You know, it's kind of like when I'm golfing, and I know the smart play is not to try to cut a 3-iron over the water, but I'm going to try it because that's why I'm out there.
Not out there to play it safe.
No, absolutely. I'm not out there to hit a 7-iron laying up. That's why I lose every week. All right, here comes Bennett. He looks like he's going to boom it, and he does. Oh, no, he actually went.
Oh, he knuckled it.
That didn't look like that was intentional. That looked like he may have missed it.
There, yeah.
Wow. So it ends up being sort of the worst. Well, no, the worst case would have been a long return. But he got it at the 25. I'm sure Bennett's disappointed because, again, that didn't look like what he was trying to do.
St. Clair back out here. You got 5 big bodies again. What we've seen, their adjustment they've made, they were kind of rotating. We saw on third down they go with like more of the nickel kind of defense, but they've been sticking now for the past 2 drives with starting off with this 5 down front.
And they're really shifting personnel out of it, too. It looks like Austin Middleton, the junior, is now in at the nose type spot. And Mason Geyer, it looks like 70 is also in there. So they're running wide here. Stoll looks like he got held there. They did not call it, and it's going to be a big gain, about a 12 or 13-yard gain. So Nate Stoll, I thought, got held on the corner there. It looked like he was standing his ground pretty well, and he was trying to – and it just looked like the jersey was coming a little bit, trying to prevent that off tackle.
Yeah, it's a little bit of veteran play there by the tight end for Moon. Right as they go away, you pull him in real quick, and then you let him go. I wasn't holding him at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But, again, that's what you got to prevent. You got to prevent sort of the simple stuff getting big gains. So Moon's got a first down there at the 37. And it's like almost an empty set, but he's going straight ahead. Oh, he's got a big gain here. There he goes. That looks like another hold on the corner. They did not call it. He gets all the way inside the 30 to about the Panther 27. And, boy, that was – I mean, there was nothing else they could have done out of that formation, but, they're not getting off their blocks.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key. I mean, you not only have to play assignment football and have to hard joint the puller or whatever you're going to do, like splatter the puller, whatever your technique is there, but I think you have to your point, get off and make the play then, and I think the Panthers really struggled there.
Yep, so Panthers have got to get a little bit stout. That was pre-snap penalty, yep. Back them up 15. Yeah, I mean, I also don't want to sound like a homer, but I thought I've seen 2 pretty blatant holds, one on each of the last 2 plays. Again, most of the flags have been on Moon so far, so I really don't have much room to complain. It's just I'm just telling what I see.
Yeah, I think there's been, to your point, I think the second one in the corner was probably more blatant because that's out in the open. I thought that was pretty obvious there, but to your point, Moon's been on the wrong end of some calls so far here. Not
correct.
Not incorrectly, but I think maybe we're seeing some evening out.
Yep, correct. So we've got first and 15 here at the Panther 30. Again, they're going straight ahead out of that. This is Bladel again. Yeah. Oh, and he slips through. That's a really nice run. He there was contact right away, and then he somehow slipped through. The first contact was about 3 or 4 yards. They end up getting about 8.
Yes, this little midline concept. You actually leave the first down lineman, the 3 technique, to the strong side unblocked and read off him so your interior guys can get to that second level, and basically hoping there the 3 tech head up and you can kind of run by him real quick, and that was the case there.
Well, it worries you again because they got 2 big guys who are very tough to tackle. Bladel's being one of them, and he proved to live up to it there. So they're back into a very manageable 2nd and 7 here are the Tigers, and they're back in this power formation. They're just going straight ahead here.
ISO, yeah.
And not a huge gain there, only about a gain of 2 or 3 down to the Panther 19, but it's probably 4 down territory at this point, so you're going to have to be really stout here if you're the Panthers.
Yeah, and you see the lead blocker there, number 40, Nick Clemens, actually looking at the program. He's listed as an offensive lineman in the program.
Yeah, he's already caught a touchdown.
Yeah, he's in there catching a touchdown, playing tight end. So I think what Moon wants to do is no secret here. And
look who's back here now. Big Naz Brookins is saying, "If you can give him the ball straight ahead, can you stop me?" Nice job on the tackle there. It looks like that's a pretty good stop in the backfield. Dante Corey ended up getting him, but they were pretty stout. And it's going to be 4th down, probably about 2.5 or 3. I'm sure Moon will go for it, but pretty good stuff from the Panthers.
Yeah, good way to be stout there on third down, force them into a do or die down here on fourth.
All right, so let's see what we got here. 4th and 2. Moon's got to get just inside the 15-yard line here, so that's what you got to watch for. Be interesting to see if we see any sort of misdirection or it's just straight ahead power.
I wonder if this might be counter to the right again. You got those two guys up in the line of scrimmage to the left.
Okay.
There they are.
There it is. And it's Bladel again. He's going to get it easy. He's going to keep going, and he's going to get all the way down to the 5 to the 4-yard. It looked like the Panthers had that pretty well diagnosed, but he just went hard off tackle and he couldn't get him to the ground.
Very, very, very hard run. And to your point earlier, earlier it's just about getting off blocks and making the play. St. Clair seems to be in the right position, which is encouraging, definitely. But now it's going to be about getting off those blocks and making plays.
Yeah, so 4th down. This has been some pretty big momentum shifts already here as we move midway through the second quarter. And let's see what the Panthers can do. Hopefully they just won't make it easy on him, to get into the end zone here. It looks like Brookins is back in the game here. And he's going straight ahead. He didn't get a lot there. He got maybe 1 or 2. Well, now they're saying he got down to about the 1. I didn't think he got that far. No, it would probably be back about the 2.
Yeah, and it's really no secret what Moon is doing here. When they have those two, which they're listed as offensive linemen in the program, but they're clearly playing fullback for Moon. When they have them up behind the guard and the tackle on that line of scrimmage with that single setback, more of a wildcat formation, it's either counter the other way or ISO straight ahead. And it's if I'm Moon, I'm running until they stop it.
Yeah, absolutely. So they marked it back at the 3. That seemed to make a little more sense to me, but so now they've got the quarterback back in there, and it looks like Bladel's taking the direct snap. He's going to go off tackle. And he's in. It looks no. And he's in. Yeah, pretty. So Moon did more along the lines of what they wanted there. They were methodical. They marched it again, not one pass, and going to take the lead again.
Yeah, and we said right before that play, if I'm Moon, it's been working. I'm not stopping doing it. They just ran the same play 2 plays in a row, different personnel, but ISO to the right 2 plays in a row. I mean, it's a pretty dominating rushing attack so far for Moon.
Yeah, absolutely. The Panthers adjusted once and got a stop on and now Moon has adjusted back, and see how this game sort of progresses this way. Snap is down, kick is up. Kind of an odd-looking kick, but he got it through, and Moon is going to lead 14-7 with 6:55 to go in the second quarter. So, Harks, if you had to put on your defensive coordinator hat, is there something you see that you feel like the Panthers can do to adjust? You talked about how it seems like positionally they're fairly sound. Is it just as simple as getting off the blocks and getting them to the ground, or you think there's something they can do here to kind of adjust to what Moon is doing?
I'll be interested to see if they. I mean, we talked about the 5 down linemen. They've kind of made that. So there's already one adjustment they've made there. I'll be curious to see if they start bringing any pressure off the edges or maybe something up the middle with a Mike linebacker. Interested to see. That would be honestly my only adjustment is you have your 5-on-5 up front or 5-on-6 or 7, however many Moon's bringing up there. You already have those extra guys in the box, maybe trying to time a blitz up there and make a play in the backfield, look for an explosive.
All right, so best thing the Panthers can do right now is get some offense going. The offense has really only had one drive. They made some first downs but did not get into the end zone, and then obviously they were the recipient of a special teams gaffe from the Tigers and punched it in. What do you expect to see from the offense on this drive, Harks?
They found a lot of success running the football early in their drive, and it kind of stalled out when they got in more passing situations and had to force it. So I'll be interested to see how they come out here now.
Here's Bywalski again. Oh, he makes a nice little move. Here goes Charlie. He's at the 40, 45, 50. And he gets out of bounds inside Moon territory. So they went with the short kick again. But Charlie Bywalski's one of the dangerous, receivers and playmakers for the Panthers, and he did a great job there.
Absolutely. Other than Moon's rushing attack so far, the other storyline in this game has been special teams play. The Panthers really changing momentum of the game with 2 big special teams plays. Good return there to get themselves across midfield as well as recovering tackling the punter there inside the 1-yard line.
Should give a shout out to the staff back there. Everybody, the whole team is back there today. Nico Gaitis, of course, he's got the joystick back there helping your shot going, and my man Ray and Todd. They got the whole freaking team back there. I love it. That's why our coverage is so strong, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely not us.
No, absolutely not. No talent here. All right, so there comes Mason. Here he goes. straight up the middle. Mace is banging it. He got to hold on to the football, but he's going to get a gain of about 15. That is a really nice first down game for the Panthers.
Moon getting a taste of their own medicine. A little misdirection counter there. Huge gash up front by the big boys. Double team at the point of the attack, working to the play side linebacker, the Mike linebacker, and there you see it. I mean, St. Clair sticking with this running attack. It's had a lot of fruits of success here, and I think they should probably stick with it here.
Yeah, Gillespie's getting a nice push right now for a guy who's been sick all week. Here comes Chambers. He's going to go up the middle there. Sort of similar looking action, but he only got about 2 there. You know, the good news is if the Panthers can keep having success in the run game, first of all, it keeps them on schedule, and second of all, you know, it sets up some of the stuff they like to do in the passing game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the more success they have in the run game, you see the Panthers, they had to bring 5 defensive linemen on the field. If Moon has to do something similar, start blitzing a little bit, bringing some more guys into the box, I mean, that just sets up to get these dynamic players the ball on the field.
All right, so here come the Panthers, 2nd and 8. Pretty good in the Moon territory, and here he comes. Oh, nice block from Carter Stein, the fullback. So this is really nice. They're pulling linemen right now. Nate Stoll is coming from his left guard spot and pulling, and they're getting really nice movement, he and Marco.
Great pick up there by the fullback and the pulling guard. I mean, the Moon blitz right into a little Bama X blitz in the play side B gap there with the 2 linebackers crisscrossing, and St. Clair picked it up beautifully.
Yeah, Carter Stein's dad was on that team I was talking about earlier. He was a sophomore. So it was a bad exchange, and that is really unfortunate because it was 3rd and short. And, you know, one little bad exchange, and that's where the shotgun sometimes can hurt you. And, boy, from 3rd and 1 to 4th and about 6 is a big momentum shift there.
It seems like no second guessing here from Coach Junk, though. I mean, he was right down to his play sheet, and they were right in the ball.
Well, I think this is the right call. It's just,
yep.
You know, we've talked about this. The offense just can't seem to get out of their own way sometimes. I think this is a talented offense. I think there are good players all over the place, but they have not been as successful as I thought they would be this year because of stuff like that.
Yeah, let's see. Moon has a safety in the box here. Typically means pressure.
All right, Hellman's rolling left. He's looking down the field. Dallum's getting held, and they got it. So Jules. So what happened was it was a double move, and when Jules first broke, the guy just grabbed him. So it's going to be a first down. But you know, frankly, it was a pretty good thrown ball, and if he didn't grab him, I think it was probably 6.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like the play call though. You know, you're trying to get your best guy the ball on a one-on-one matchup down the field. So good stuff. It's a first down for the Panthers, and we're going to have another set of downs. Love the aggression from Coach Junko, though. Just love it.
Oh, I mean, I think you and I are very similar in that aspect. That was a no doubt go territory there for sure, and I love that. Love the play call, too, rolling out, moving the line. It looks like Moon was going to bring a little pressure. You're shifting kind of the line of scrimmage, giving your quarterback a little bit more time to throw, and then getting the ball to your best weapon. They're
really sitting on those short, like kind of curl routes, Harks, it looks like. And so, you know, I think where the –
going to make them pay at some point.
Yeah, you have to. And you have – the one thing they do have is speed. I mean, they have 3 receivers who can really run. So, you know, now this looks like Dallum is in the Wildcat here, Hellman out wide. I wonder if they have any place to get Ethan the ball because he's really athletic. Here comes Dallum off tackle. Oh, good block from Van Helmen, the fullback. He bounced it outside. Great block from Bywalski, and that is going to be a touchdown for the Panthers. 20 yards out in the Wildcat. Julian Dallum for 6, and we're looking to tie this baby up.
And we talk about getting the ball in your best players, in your best athlete's hand. That's exactly what the Panthers did there. And huge shout-out to the receiver, Charlie Bywalski, coming back in there making a block. Receivers blocking in the run game turns first downs to touchdowns, and you saw that right there.
Yeah, there were 3 great blocks there. Marco Carone first, sealing the guy from the left tackle spot. Van Helmen just crushed him from the kind of the lead fullback block, and then Bywalski on the seal on the outside for the touchdown. Everything really worked there. Beautiful drive for the Panthers. And Henderson is going to be up and good for the extra point, and we are tied at 14 with 4:27 to go in the second quarter. Harks has advertised. It's a heck of a football game so far.
Yeah, it's been an awesome game. I mean, back and forth. We talked about response earlier. Both teams responding to various momentum changes. Now it's going to be tie ball game now, basically 0-0, 14-14. Let's see who can take the momentum back.
Okay, this may be sort of a question on the dumber side, but we have 4:27 to go. The way Moon's offense operates, do they have to do anything or think anything differently based upon how long everything sort of takes? Is it just as simple as doing what they do but speeding it up between plays or going a little more tempo, or do they have to think about just doing a little more aggressive or something?
I think they're definitely a quicker pace than we typically see, as we discussed. So I think maybe just hastening that a little bit. You see them, they're kind of looking to the sideline, change the play at the line of scrimmage as well. Maybe it's more of, hey, let's just get in the ball. We're going to run this play. We're going to run our counter, run our ISO, run our power, and that's that, and see where we end up. They also do have 3 timeouts as well, so definitely a lot of time left here for Moon, even despite the triple option. Plenty of time to score here.
On the flip side, so the Panthers did get a 3-and-out on one of the series. Panthers are a little more of a quick strike attack. If you can pin them deep and get the ball back quickly, momentum can shift very quickly in this game. And yes, I'm getting ahead of myself considering they've had a difficult time stopping them. But you get the ball in the second half, and if you can get a stop and get points right before halftime and then get the ball back, that is a big momentum shift in any football game.
Potential for a huge 14-point swing when you do that. You come down, you can score. I mean, we see all the very, very successful teams when they defer and they go into the half, and they going into the half, they can score. I mean, really, really good football teams focus and emphasize on that, scoring late in the first half and then coming out and scoring right in the second half. It completely flips the momentum in the game.
All right, so the crowd is a little bit back into this one. They had a lot of pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Night, which is nice to see, and it's a nice atmosphere tonight here for the home side, and let's hope they can give them more to cheer about. So interesting now, after the difficult kickoff, Jacobo Echeverria is now in to kick it off, who has another big leg, and he gets that ball almost to the goal line. Good kick. Returner comes out. Carter Stein once again on special teams. Number 24 doing a really nice job, and they're down at the 22. Again, special teams has been excellent tonight for the Panthers.
Yeah, great kick coverage all across the board. Good kick, get it. Good hang time, nice deep ball, perfect.
All right, so we've got 4:21 to go as we talked about. Looks like the Panthers are back into their 5-down lineman type look. We've got Albert and Carone. We've got big Reese Perrine again back in 74. We got Mason Geyer 70 in and Nate Stoll 58 along the line. All right, so we talked about it. Let's see what Moon's got. They've got Big Naz Brookins in. They fake the fullback dive. Now they get the pitch out to the wide side. This is Bladel, I believe. Not a big gain, only about 2 or 3, but Panthers look like they stacked up the misdirection a lot better there.
Yeah, and you see, I mean, Moon, a lot of success running from the gun, more of like a wildcat type formation with 2 lead blockers on one side there. Definitely more traditional wing T. I think the Panthers have stacked up better. I wonder if it's some little of a change up. Moon brought a little new wrinkle here, and the Panthers definitely were expecting the wing T coming in this game, and they've had some success against it.
All right, so this is Brookins up the gut. Pretty good stuff from the Panthers there. Trying to see who that was, sort of holding his ground nicely. That's Marco Carone, big 78. The Penn Quaker commit did a really nice job. And Carter Stein's playing a lot tonight. He plays a lot at the fullback, but now he's playing a lot at the middle linebacker, and he's doing a really nice job.
Interesting choice here. I wonder what Moon's going to come out in. 3rd and 4. Great rushing attack. I can see them staying on the ground. Here comes the wing T again.
Yeah, this is a big play. If the Panthers can get a stop here, it's just like we talked about. It's Bladel again. He's going to the wide side. Banbury in. Couldn't get him, but the Panthers are going to get him to the ground. John Banbury did a great job. Couldn't bring him down, but that's Marco Carone again. The senior is saying, look, boys, this is my last year. I am not going down without a fight. Marco's been terrific tonight so far.
Huge start from the Panthers. Curious, Moon, I mean, like I said, Panthers against the traditional wing T have had some success with their 5 down front, 5 defensive linemen, where Moon had really moved the ball, was more of that shotgun wildcat 2 lead blocker kind of formation, and they really went away from it on that last drive.
Are they going to fake it here? This will be very interesting. Are they going? So the Panthers going to call timeout. Very smart. Very smart. Coach Junko saw it. So it's interesting to see. I mean, they're on their own 29. It would be really, really gutsy to go for it here. At the same time, the way they've moved the ball, what do you think? I mean, am I out of my mind?
So it looked like it was a check there. They actually brought the punter out, but then St. Clair wasn't in punt safe. They were in their punt return. Punt safe being you keep the defense on the field, send a safety or D-back back. So St. Clair really had no big bodies in that game up front. So I wonder if it's almost like a check that Moon has in there, where, hey, punter runs off the field, we'll run big number 26 in, and if they have all little guys up front, we're going to run it right at them.
Well, all's well that ends well. If they can get just the opposition to punt here, I am totally fine with that result. And Moon probably still has the last punt exchange in their head. I mean, when you snap, you have a long snapper who just snapped the ball over the punter's head. He can't be brimming with confidence right now. I
wonder if that's a factor too. When you even a little checked it when the St. Clair now coming out in defense, looks like they're going to be more punt safe here for sure.
All right, so to set the scene again, it is 4th and 4. And you're right. This looks like more like the base defense. Harks, I think you nailed this. Nico D'Orazio is just going to go back to return the punt, but he's the safety. That being said, Nico D'Orazio is a really good athlete. The ball in his hands is a positive. All right, let's see how the snap goes here. Not bad. Moves a little, but gets it off. It's a pretty decent punt, actually. D'Orazio is going to go over. He's going to let it bounce, and he's just going to get out of there, and that's fine. It's still rolling a little bit. Takes a moon bounce. Pretty good flip in the field there. I have to think they're going to be okay. It's about a 45-yard net. So Panthers will be have the ball on their own 23 with 2:26 to go. And Harks, I have to think this is green light territory for the Panthers, being that Moon does mostly running. You'd have to think the Panthers would want to be pretty aggressive here.
Yeah, and you see number 99, Bennett Henderson, warming up into the field goal net over there. Something you also got to think in mind when you have that good of a field goal kicker, even just getting 3 here would be huge.
Yeah, and you don't need to get that far with
exactly.
him. I mean, yes, I'm not expecting a high school kicker to kick a 55-yarder, but I have seen him with my own eyes next to me hitting 55-yarders with room to spare.
Insane.
The kid has a great leg and he's accurate. So, yeah, I mean, you want to give Bennett a chance, but, you also want to get a chance. They've been sucking defenders in if you can get a splash play.
Yeah, that double move you talked about.
All right, here comes Hellman, and they are going to throw. And they are going down the field. Dallum's getting held again, but he's got it anyway. He took a pop there. Uh-oh. Hopefully Jules gets up. He's okay. So it was interference, and it's a big play from Dallum. Great throw from Ethan Hellman. Just dropped an absolute dime in there. Jules is okay. I think he just got popped.
Yeah, wind knocked at him. Those hits are never fun when you get someone coming from the outside, blindside hit.
Let me tell you something. I don't know what Julian Dallum is listed in the program size-wise, but I've coached Julian Dallum for a long time. Julian Dallum is not coming out of this football game. He's not staying down. He's not coming out of this game. The Dallum brothers are as tough as they come and as competitive as they come. But you talked about it, Harks. You want to get your playmakers the ball, and Jules he's a stud.
Yeah, great throw, great catch, great call.
All right, so now we are down to the Moon 39, and the game plan has shifted dramatically. Now you're thinking 6. All right, Hellman's here. He's going to go. No, he fakes it to Chambers. Trying to get to the outside. Can he get out of bounds? He cannot. That's Bladell. Big surprise. He's everywhere, and it's going to be about a 3-yard loss. Was that a read option there, Harks?
Yeah, definitely pulled it late there. I mean, you'd see that they brought the blitz. Sam linebacker on the strong side into the B gap, and I think it was kind of last-second pull and good pursuit by the Moon Tigers.
Yeah, I don't think either thing would have worked there. Chambers almost was tackled before he even got to the quarterback. So it looks like we've got Biwalski. Gianni DeSora is in the slot now, replacing the junior is replacing Dallum, who's on the sideline shortly. Hellman's rolling to his left. He throws. He's got Biwalski. Was he inbounds? He was not. They're going to say he was out of bounds. It was a good throw, just not quite enough room to stay in bounds there for the Panthers.
Second time you've seen that bootleg play. They tried the double move out of the slot and the comeback on the outside. That's actually an old Coach Render play. I don't know if you noticed that over there.
They're stealing the Render playbook. It's all right. All right, so we've got 3rd and about 14 here. And the other thing to think about here is if you get, let's say, 8, you are probably in Bennett Henderson territory. Not to say, hey, I mean, you still may want to be aggressive and try to, get more points. But that is a possibility here, and it wouldn't be for most high school kickers. All right, minute 26 to play here. Can the Panthers give Hellman time? He does have it. He's going to throw it down the field. He's got Charlie. Charlie's got it. Great catch. Oh, no, he didn't. He couldn't quite pull it in. Sorry, from our vantage point, it looked like Charlie pulled it in, but the D-back did a really nice job sort of pulling that away at the last second. Good throw, though.
Yeah,
he gave a guy a chance to make a play.
Great throw. Good job by Charlie getting separation there with his body, and even better play. I mean, great throw, great way to get separation by the receiver. Just even better play by the Moon Tigers.
Yeah, I think punting is exactly what you got to do here. I'm as aggressive as they come, but if 14 yards is not a likely scenario, and Moon is not likely to go 90 yards quickly. So just let's make sure we get the snap and the exchange down, and Jacobo get this off. Braden with a good snap. Here comes Jacobo. He's going to make a good one. It's going to be an excellent punt. It's going to be down at about the 6. So good work from the Panthers. And with a minute 11 left, Moon will take over, and I have to think they'll just sort of do what they do, and if the clock runs out, so be it.
Yeah, you got to think couple runs to right here, couple runs to left, and then get in the locker room.
This is I tell you what, it's been a quick half as you'd expect with mostly running. It's only 8 o'clock, but it's been a really entertaining football game so far, Harks. Just sort of like the contrast in styles, the momentum shifts. It's been really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't have these KDKA guys slowing us down with TV timeouts, we'd be out of here by 8:15.
Yeah, got to give love to my guy. Got to give love to my guy Matt Fargo. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and he's the best in the biz. He does a fabulous job. If you are in the Pittsburgh area and want to watch on KDKA Plus, he and John Patrician are doing an awesome job. I love watching their high school sports coverage. So shout out to those guys. Good to have them here as the game of the week. All right, so Moon's going to do a QB draw here, and they're going to get out of bounds. Good tackle. At the boundary, but it's going to be about a gain of 8. That doesn't really hurt you if you're the Panthers right here with only a minute left.
A good job by Moon getting out of bounds. Clock is going to stop. Now you have something a little to think about. You're getting a little bit more room. Let's see what they do.
My mom says I'm doing an excellent job as usual, but Ryan is absolutely fantastic as a color guy. I'll tell him, Mom, that's great. I appreciate you watching. You're my biggest fan, and I'm thankful. Both my mom and dad are watching tonight, which is cool. My dad's usually here, but it's not the nicest night out. So. All right, 2nd and 3, minute 5 to go. It's another QB draw right up the middle here. Not much. It's probably going to be a first down, but not much more than that. I think if you're the Panthers, you're probably fine with that. So the clock will stop momentarily to move the chains, but now rolling again with 55 seconds to play here. And Moon doesn't look like they're in a super hurry, but they look like they are going to snap here. They're in a big passing set here in a spread. They are going to be another quarterback draw, but Carone says no way. Marco Carone for about only a 2-yard gain. Another nice play. Talk about getting off blocks. He did a nice job there.
Oh, man, I can hear Coach Core saying right now, if it's easy, it's sleazy. Great job. O-linemen are letting you come upfield, retrace, get back to the quarterback.
Yeah, did a good job not getting sucked in on a QB draw. So we got 23 seconds left. It looks like Moon, assuming they run it here, we'll have time for about one more snap. Maybe, I don't know what they're doing here. Looks like he went over to talk to the coach. It looks like that they may be satisfied to run out the clock or run one more play here.
I don't know why you'd risk, especially if you're going to put the ball in the air, why you'd risk something down in this end.
No, I mean, there's too many bad things can happen, and the likelihood of something good happening is very low. Now, they're going to let the half run out. So at halftime, we got a 14-14 tie. Harks, any thoughts that sort of dominate from you for the first half?
I think the St. Clair adjustments on defense kind of stifled this Moon rushing attack. You saw a little bit better of a performance in that second quarter, and I think just continuing attacking the ball on the ground and taking those deep shots down the field, I know, and St. Clair should be in business in the second half.
All right, sounds good. We're going to let the band take it over for you, and we will see you in the second half.
Please welcome for your halftime entertainment, the Band of Excellence and the 2023 Bands of America Regional Finalists, the Moon Area High School Marching Band. This year's halftime show is sponsored by Clearview Federal Credit Union. Clearview is your financial partner for life. Visit clearviewfce.org for more information. The band is being led onto the field by drum majors Madison McCullough and Austin Keys. Our first selection this evening is the Bruno Mars huge #1 smash single in 2012 from his album Unorthodox Jukebox. This is Locked Out of Heaven. Our next selection this evening was at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 charts and won 2 Grammy Awards in 2011. This is All of the Lights. Our final selection this evening is the debut single of the rock band The Killers and was voted as one of the best rock songs of the 21st century. Sit back and listen as the band performs Mr. Brightside. The band is under the direction of Nick Barthen, with assistant Abby Finkelstein and associate director Alan Fear. Auxiliary instructors are Sidney Deal and Jen Minnemeyer. Thank you for your attention and support, and as always, go Tigers!
Let's give it up once more for the Moon Area High School Band. And now, from the fine and performing arts of the Upper St. Clair Township Schools, under the direction of Dr. John Seibert, we present the pride of Upper St. Clair, the Upper St. Clair High School Panther Marching Band. Today, we will perform our Graceland to Liverpool halftime show. Crying in the Chapel, the 1965 #1 Elvis hit. Don't Be Cruel, the #1 song in 1956 on all 3 of the main charts, also recorded by Elvis. Can't Help Falling in Love from the 1961 film Blue Hawaii, usually the grand finale in Presley's concerts. She Loves You, the 1963 Lennon-McCartney tune, the Beatles' best-selling single in UK. And finally, a medley of Eleanor Rigby, Come Together, and Hey Jude. The band is under the field direction of drum major Brian McFerrin. Drum major, is your band ready? Take it away, band!
See, country music was always a part of the influence of my type of music, you know. It's a combination of country music and gospel and rhythm and blues all combined. That's what it really was. As a child, I was influenced by all of that. Probably the greatest honor that I've ever had in my life. There's not much I can say except I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I've wanted to meet him for years. We were massive fans of Elvis. Since we were young teenagers, who he was in the flesh.
There you have it. This is the 23-24 edition of the Pride of Upper St. Clair.
All right, we're back again here as we have probably 3 minutes to go in the halftime festivities. This is Gavin Williams back with Ryan Harkleroad here. I went down to the concourse there to say hello to a bunch of the class of 93 guys who were here for their third year. It was unbelievable. I mean, the flashbacks I saw from my freshman year of high school and getting hazed in the Commons was unbelievable. It was fabulous. But a bunch of the football guys were down there telling them about their big Whitfield Championship and state final season. Ross Alessandro and Joe Viviano and Dave Mandler and the whole gang, Jimbo Quealy, and it was fabulous to see those guys. So, all right, without further ado, Harks, we're at 14-14 football game. We've seen Moon with very methodical offensive drives, pretty much running the ball using power, off-tackle misdirection, and we've seen the Panthers connect on, well, there was a special teams mistake obviously by Moon, but we've seen them connect with deeper passes, with splash plays, and so there's going to be some adjustments made at halftime. Is there something you think that sort of stands out if you were, say, Coach Junko, to talk about at half to really focus on that you think could sort of make the difference here?
Well, so I think first and foremost, is continue to play very, very well in special teams. You want to keep doing what you're doing very well in the second half. The second, I think, would be sustaining more drives, generating more chunk plays. We saw a flag there and a deep shot. We saw a good connection to Dallum. I think generating more of those plays, whether it's the pass or the run, getting more explosive plays on offense, and really eating up some clock as well.
So let's break it down both sides of the football. I feel like we focused a lot on Moon on the offensive side of the ball and the Panthers on the defensive side of the ball, because really that was sort of our point of emphasis coming into the football game. And you talked about some of these specific adjustments the Panthers have made. Let's talk about the other side of the football. The Panthers have had some success on the offensive side of the ball, but it's still been a little bit uneven. Is there something you think that the Panthers need to sort of rely upon? They're going to get the ball first here, and that can sort of maybe stem the tide here as we head into the third quarter.
So I think they found success in the rushing attack. I think sticking with that, but also situationally, Moon has really, in one of the adjustments, frankly, they made coming out of the first drive where St. Clair had success running the ball is they're basically playing no safeties deep. They're man coverage, manned up on the outside, and they're not going to let Upper St. Clair run the ball, similar to how Moon has run the ball on the St. Clair defense. And so I think that's something that if I'm St. Clair, okay, if they're really, while we say you got to run the ball, maintain possession, if they're really going to essentially say we don't believe you can beat us deep. I mean, St. Clair has the dogs to beat them deep. Hellman has shown that he can throw the ball well, stretch the field really well. I think that's where you could see in the second half 2 or 3 of those deep shots really pay off and change the tide for the Panthers.
The other word that I don't want to mention because it may not be a favorable mention for the Panthers is the F word, fatigue. Moon's offense is a difficult one to defend, but also Moon has a huge roster. They play more guys on sort of the both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. The Panthers have done a nice job substituting, it looks like, a little bit on the defensive line, playing some different guys, so it's not everybody playing both ways, but Stoll and Carone and Geyer pretty much playing both ways. Do you think that could possibly be a factor here as we sort of go forward, or is it one of those things where it's such a big game, adrenaline could take over?
I think adrenaline takes over, and then all in all, it's week 9 here. You've been playing, a lot of these guys have been playing both ways the whole season. They're definitely in good shape, and I think that if St. Clair didn't think they could continue to play at the pace they're playing at, they'd probably rotate a little more. But like you said, I think they're found their groove in terms of when they're going to rotate, when they're going to keep guys in, et cetera.
Yeah, so shout out to some people I saw there at half. Also, Lauren Anderson, class of 97, great guy. Robin Blattner Gaelic, class of 99. These are friends of mine from high school, and it's so wonderful to see so many former Panthers. Ben Sutton, class of 96, who now has a daughter at the school. And it's one of the real blessings that I get to see all of these people now with, kids at the school. George Garces and Amy Levinson Garces now have a freshman who I will be coaching. Just crazy stuff. So, all right, the Tigers in their road whites will be kicking off to the Panthers. As we talked about, they deferred. This is the first long kick they've had. The short ones haven't really worked that well. So this looks like Dante Corey, number 7, good block there. He makes a man miss, cuts the inside, gets about to the 26, so not bad from the Panthers, and they'll start there. All right, Hark, so let's see if what you talked about comes to fruition. Let's see if the Panthers once again try to reestablish the run game. It did work on the first drive of the football game, and frankly, I thought it worked pretty well throughout the bulk of the first half.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it'll be in turn. And how does Moon adjust throughout the half? Do they continue to leave? And you see it here. I mean, they don't have a guy past 10 yards down the field. So I think, no, as I say that, there goes the safety back deep. But
now he's cheating up again. I think you're right. So here he comes. This is Hellman actually off tackle. Oh, here he goes. Ethan Hellman, he breaks one. He breaks two. He's at the 45 to 50 and across midfield. So it looked, I honestly had to double check to see that wasn't Dallum. So we talked about this a little bit in the open. Ethan Hellman is so athletic, but they weren't using him as a runner that much, maybe because of physical health. But last week they did a lot of QB draws. He scored 2 running touchdowns.
Yeah, we talk about Dallin, we talk about Mason getting the ball in your good players' hands. But I mean, Hellman's another one of those good players. I mean, I think if he can be a real factor in the QB run, a force multiplier in the run game, another guy the defense has to account for.
He is super athletic and super competitive. He's rolling right. He's looking upfield. He is brought down. So he sort of ran into the line there. I mean, he didn't, Brian Crawford, big 56, is going to be the one on the sack, but it's only about a yard or two of a loss.
Good job holding onto the ball. Honestly, when he got hit with that ball holding out there, I was like, oh, that ball's going to be out. And it was, all in all, you don't want to eat, 1 yard losses on first down, but I think that the big story there is being able to hold on to that football.
Yeah, again, they're going to mark it back, so it ends up being about a 3 yard loss. But, so interesting. They went with the wide receiver off tackle, or the quarterback off tackle first, and then they had a little bit of a rollout. So now Hellman is flanked out wide. Julian Dallum here in the run. Let's see if it's a direct run, or again, this is our quarterback last year. Dude can throw. Dallum in the shotgun. He is going to run. He sneaks through. He's still on his feet. Gets all the way down to about the Moon 46 for a gain of, let's say, 7, and that'll set up about 3rd and maybe 6 or 7.
And again, we talk about Hellman being a force multiplier in the run game. And you have Dallin back there. I mean, it's just another body the defense has to account for, and then you get another lead blocker in turn with the back.
Yeah, whether it's been the misdirection or, the different guys or whatever it's been, again, the Panther run game, very successful. 6-7 yard gain there. And now it's 3rd and 7. And again, you may be thinking 4-down territory, and you may be thinking, can we get half of it here?
Yeah, I'm thinking a little of the same there, a little QB run with Dallin, but I think coaches think it differently. I mean, it's hard. If I'm sitting there calling these plays, look at where these corners are up. There's no safety deep. One of these times the ball has to go long.
So here's Chambers. He gets to the outside. Good block from Hellman. It looks like he's just short. Where are they going to mark this?
I think it's going to be about a half a yard short, but there's going to be no second guessing here. Coach is right into his play sheet. They're going.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where they mark this. The guy on the far side of the field didn't mark it as
he's
far.
been pretty bad marking the ball, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's about a yard. So now we got about a yard and a half. I don't think this changes things. So what's wrong? Mason looks like he's injured. This might be something to watch. Mason Chambers is holding his left wrist. That's problematic. He's going to the injury tent. One of the trainers is looking at him. So now we've got Dante Corey, the sophomore, next to him, who's excellent, but not, maybe not as big of a banger, in terms of just going straight ahead. We got 4th and 2. Hellman, here it is. There's the sneak. Hellman's going to get to the outside. Can he get upfield? He does. Very strong stuff from me. And now he gets thrown out of bounds. They're going to nah, I don't think so. But that's a really tough run. We talked about Hellman in the run game. What people don't maybe know about him is he is diabolically competitive. I watched him on the basketball court last year, and he was crazy competitive.
I mean, you can see it when he runs. Not many quarterbacks, especially ones of his size, are going to be willing to run straight downfield. They ran double outside, a smash blitz there. I mean, they brought 6 guys, and he just ran right down their throat. Great job of the O-line up front.
All right, so 1st and 10 at the Moon 38. This is Dante Corey, and he has nowhere to go. There were about 3 Moon Tigers in the backfield there very quickly, led by number 40. We've called his name a lot, Nicholas Clemens. And, so Harks, they're thinking the same thing we are. The run game's working. They're going to have to send some numbers.
Yeah, so I think I feel like every St. Clair game that I've been to has been similar. It's like they're going to keep running it. The second they kind of lull you to sleep, then you see one of their big skill running down that field. So I'll be interested to see how, when, I'm not even going to say if, when Coach Jung takes a shot.
Yeah, we haven't seen Van Hellman yet in the passing game. I'll be interested to see if that sort of comes into fruition. Here's a fake. He's going to roll. And there is Van Hellman. Gets it from his brother. Turns upfield. Lowers his shoulder. Gets across a man. He's going to get to that lead stick for a first down. So on cue, Van Hellman on the little rollout, little fake, and he is a tough guy. You want to get the ball in his hands. Hellman for a first down.
Little Tony Romo action, calling your shot there.
Well, it's one of those things that, I told the story of how I was teasing Van in the hall, but that kid is a winner. You want to get him the football. He is so tough physically and mentally, and he did a nice job there. That guy wanted no part of him putting his shoulder down. So first down. 10 at the 27 of Moon. Good drive here so far from the Panthers. Chambers back in. He's making good forward progress there. Gets all the way down almost to the 20 for a game of 6 or so.
Yeah, I mean, that was – oh, man, that almost got me out of my seat there a little bit. You see Van Helmen just makes the big play in the pass game. Next time he's coming through in the little counter, and boom, right up the middle, meeting the Mike linebacker in the hole.
Oh, we got a good shout-out here. Eric Render is watching at home in Brooklyn, and his son George is watching. That means he's a good parent, and he's starting the right way. I want to give a shout-out to George Render. George, your grandpa is up here. He's a fine, fine man. Your grandma is up here. She is a fine, fine lady. All right. Back to the action here. Here comes Mace again. He's going to bang it up across the 20, gets all the way down to about the 18. Set up a 3rd and 1. This is a nice drive so far.
Yeah, I mean, again, Moon just bringing a ton of pressure, and St. Clair still responding, gaining positive yards in the run game. Really impressive by the boys up front.
Oh, we got another compliment here. I like to read the compliments because apparently we are a great combo. Enjoying the analysis. Thank you, Coach Malarkey. Your check is in the mail. Jerry Malarkey, our legendary baseball coach, also tuning in and giving lots of love. Eric Render was class of 97 at St. Clair, a heck of a football player in his own right. Here comes Mason Chambers banging up the middle. That is going to be a first down for the Panthers. This drive's exactly what you want so far, Harks, is it not?
I mean, we talked about it. I think they passed the ball, 2 times. They had the sack and then the little dump off for the fullback in the flat. But like we talked about coming out of the break, run. They're successful running attack. At this point, it doesn't really matter what Moon's doing. They're bringing pressure. They're shifting the front, and it's just St. Clair just running it right down their throats.
Well, look, we talked about how demoralizing it is when it's happening to you. It's joyful when
Tasting
you're
their own
doing
medicine.
it. Yeah, but you got to get 6, like we said. You got to get 6. Chambers looks like he stumbled a little bit. Oh, he's still on his feet. Can Mason get back at least to the line here? Not quite, but he avoided a big loss there. He's going to get maybe a loss of 1, but he did a really nice job staying on his feet and banging it back in there.
Yeah, for sure.
He really seems like he was having a good season, and then he had a real breakout game, particularly the Mount Lebanon game when he broke some runs, and he's been a different guy since then. Just the confidence he's been running with has been really
Runs
impressive.
behind his pads too. Physical runner.
Yeah, I love how he gets forward every time. All right, so 2nd and 11 here at the 17. Let's see what the Panthers can dial up here. Hellman is back, classic drop back. He's got some time. He's on a slant. Oh, it was low.
Man.
He looks like he had Charlie. He just couldn't quite get it to him. It was a good route from Bywalski, and the Panthers are going to feel like they let one slip away there.
Yeah, just a little low, little backside post there. I mean, I think he actually had 2. Dallin was open on the left-hand side and a little out and up, and I think that great play call by Coach Junk. It's just players got to execute, and I think the Panthers are going to come back here and hopefully convert in 3rd down.
Yeah, great stuff from the O-line there. He had a lot of time. Ethan Hellman's thrown almost not one bad ball tonight. That was still the first
Just a
ball.
little low, but
yeah,
I think
it
it's
was. And so that was really the first ball he's thrown that hasn't been spot on. So
For sure.
Panthers look like they're just shifting up formation here. There's only 8 seconds left on the play clock. Got to get serious here. Dallin in motion. Got to hurry up and get this ball out. Now we got pre-snap movement. They just didn't quite – just seemed disorganized, or was it a timeout? Looks like a timeout was called from the sideline first. Yeah, so timeout before the flag, so probably a good idea. It just didn't look like they were organized. I don't know if there was a miscommunication from the sideline, but these are important plays now down here.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't want to gift them something.
Yeah, as much as we talk about how talented Bennett is as a kicker, I mean, when you really get inside that 20-yard line, you're looking for 6, not 3.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like the defense has been consistent in getting stopped. So I mean, points. Yeah, this has been a great drive. I mean, they've taken off 6-10 already, and that's a fabulous thing. But at the end of the day, the moral of the story is you have to score more points than the other team. So they could have a 12-minute drive, but if they're not getting a touchdown, it's not as much love.
More points than the other team. You got this analysis thing figured out.
they don't pay me. They don't pay me the big bucks for anything like that. All right, so Panthers back in business here. They've got a 3rd down and 11. He's rolling. Oh, it's a throwback. Can Mike Albert beat one guy? Boy, it was a really nice call. It was unfortunate there was one guy there for Moon who blew it up, or that was a touchdown. So it's going to be about a 2-yard gain only, and it's going to have to be Bennett now.
Yeah, really good play by the outside linebacker overhang player for Moon. The job there, left tackle, was you got to get out and get flat quick. And I mean, pretty much you're dead in the water there. I think Marco was trying to get out to him, but he read it perfectly.
Yeah, give that kid credit. So we've run that play a couple times this year. JJ called for it last game, and it worked beautifully. So, maybe that's something they saw in film.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Bennett. This is a tough kick from the very deep hash, about 34 yards. Uh-oh. He did not hit it well.
Yeah, he got laces there on the hole.
Oh, no. So I don't know if that was an exchange issue or what. He did not hit it well. That's very unusual for Bennett to miss a kick. And unfortunately, despite taking 7 minutes off the clock, the Panthers are turned away. And, it's funny, like, if you had your druthers, you would have loved the ball in the center of the field there. You're not thinking that, but that is a really difficult kick. The hashes are a little wider in high school football, and those kicks get very, very extreme from the
you
angles.
expect for a righty kicker, too, from that left hash.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah. So Panthers defense is going to have to get stout here. And, it's always nice to be off the field for 7 minutes. But, again, as we talked about, you've got to get points, and you really wanted 7. So, the other thing to talk about is, Harks, I don't think there's been a traditional turnover in this football game. The first turnover here might be a very big deal.
Yeah, it's going to. We talked about a couple of the special teams plays, turnover on downs for both teams, but like you said, ball hasn't been on the carpet yet, haven't been going the other way, so it'll be interesting to see if one of these teams can take that momentum.
Coach Render, I mean, your grandson is watching intently here. Do you have you got any analysis to give him? Because I think his mind's being blown at the technology here. You got anything for us?
George is a very smart young man, multi-talented. Plays the piano, plays sports, and lives in New York City.
Yeah, in Brooklyn watching this, he seems like a Renaissance man. That's kind of nice. I hope my kids are well-rounded. That's what I'm hoping. So Coach, while I have you here,
That's what he calls me, Coach.
everybody
Everyone
calls you
does,
Coach.
yeah.
So Coach, while I have you here, what are you seeing here? If you were on the sideline tonight, what's your message here, given kind of what you've seen transpire tonight?
Well, I like it. I mean, I like both of our quarterbacks, but I think Dahlem, and I shouldn't be talking this way, but if I was coaching, Dahlem would handle the ball more. I mean, I think I would let him run the ball 20 times. The other running back, he's pretty good too. So, and I admire the Hellman. He can pass. I'm just telling you what, you guys were laughing about that formation. There's 3 backs behind the quarterback. And old Woody Hayes term for that formation is robust. That's what we use. If we had 4 backs, quarterback and fullback 2 backs.
So the better question is, are you coming to Pizzazz afterwards to see the class of '93 and their 30-year reunion? Can you?
I may, but I'm a little mad that nobody invited me in the first place.
I wonder who's in charge. Who's the student council people in charge of that?
We'll have to get their names
so
for you.
Dave Mandler seemed to have a leadership role in that. So feel free to.
Well, I can rough him up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But there were a bunch of football players down there: Alessandro Viviano, Jim Quealy. Like, it was a great crew.
Are they still there? Are they still there?
Yeah, but everybody's going to Pizzazz after the game. They told me to go in my brother's place since I'm honorary class of '93, since my brother's antisocial and doesn't come to these games.
I think I know your brother.
I mean, I'm sure you knew him back in the day. He graduated in '93. He was a baseball player. Leading the musical, too. Uh-oh, they're going wide here.
I think they got him short, though.
I think they got him short there, too, Harks. It looks like inside the 30. This would be a big deal because, I don't think you go for it on your own 28, even if it's 4th and short, do you?
Especially with the way Moon runs the ball, I wouldn't be surprised, but I feel like they have to punt it here. Oh, and they're moving the sticks now.
Oh, no, they gave him a first down there. Boy, it did not look like it.
Yeah, and that was my buddy on the far side of the field.
Yeah, well, they're putting the nose of the ball right on the 30.
Yep.
I mean, the ball. It wasn't. I mean, it's not a question. It's automatically at the 20 after a missed field goal.
Yep.
But boy, that hurts, Coach.
Yes, it does.
So after this play, I got one more question for you while you're here. All right, they're going to go wide here now. Boy, it looked like
Yeah,
another
they got a
hold. They
hold
got
right
it that
there,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Again,
Grabbed him right
I
around
don't
his
feel
right
like I
shoulder.
want to be a poor sport here, but they're holding on the corner a good bit there, and they did call that one. So, Coach, you've dealt with a lot of these rushing attacks like this that it's sort of a, kind of a more old school look. Is there any sort of tricks on defense that you sort of relied upon to try to get heavier or whatever to combat this type of offense?
Well, we used to angle the lines a lot, or we would
Like slant.
slant. And the other thing we did, going back a few years, we would stem. Stem means change, from the A gap to the B gap. Nose of the center, left or right. And you gotta think a little bit offensively as a defense, and you can't let them dictate.
Yeah, what makes it difficult for you as an offensive coach?
The best line I've heard tonight, Ryan, is
They're going wide again here. Can they get off the block on the corner? They do pretty good.
Nice play by that
Get some
corner.
good contain there, and that's only going to be about a gain of, let's say, about 4. The hold was upfield, so it wasn't like a full 10-yard game, but
Yep.
it's going to be about 2nd and 11 or so.
the best line I think I've heard tonight is when you said, "I don't want to sound like a homer."
That's all.
That's his job.
That's
That's
all.
his job.
That's all I do.
Good, you should be a homer.
Coach, I love having you here, man. It's the best. I want to give a shout out to one of our leaders over there, Mr. Mike Mascaro, who. So I got 2 things about that. Hold on, we're going to go back to the action here real quick. Oh, Panthers tough in this. Can they get him to the ground? They do. That's going to be a gain of almost
Flag
nothing.
coming in from way, way deep.
That was
Maybe a
mu-
face mask.
I hope it wasn't. Nate Stoll was in there really stout. If it's not a face mask, it's excellent. Let's see what we got.
That came from way, way back there. The ref was almost at the midfield.
What do we got? Doesn't look like they're backing us up, at least not yet.
They're definitely having a conversation, and I don't think the Panthers are going to like the
No, it
result here.
looks like it's going against the defense here. I'm not. Unfortunately, it's going to be a mask. That's a big call. So Mike Mascaro was a multi-sport guy, a wrestler, a kicker, but more importantly now, in addition to being a community leader, his daughters are standouts on the section championship number 2 seeded girls soccer team. That is Mary and Abby. If you haven't seen the Upper St. Clair girls soccer team play, do yourself a favor. They're awesome. They could win a championship
They've
this
been
year.
phenomenal for years.
Not a homer. All right, so they're going off tackle here. It's Bladell. He gets about 3 or so there. Panthers. Another flag
coming
in. Is that going to be Nate Stoll again?
The Moon sideline's clapping, and I think, again, that same ref coming from over there. That almost seems like it's in the range of something the Moon staff told that ref on their sideline, and he's been keying on now for this drive.
Yeah, you're right, Harks. It does seem like both calls have been right in front of the Moon sideline, and I don't know if they're buying them or something, but
Not a homer, though, right?
I'm not suggesting they're paying people. I'm suggesting they're in his ear. Let's relax here, people. Let's relax. Coach McKenzie saying it was all Mandler, that they're conspiring to keep you away from the party. That's what McKenzie's saying. All right, so Panthers got to get a little stout here. Got the ball down to the 35. It's been mostly penalties. They've been sort of better on this drive. Oh, it's dropped. They're going to pick it up. Is he going to be able to throw it away? Stoll's there, and Stoll gets him down. So Nate Stoll, the one thing you don't want to do is make Nate Stoll mad, because Nate Stoll is an animal regularly.
No face mask that time.
No. So that's going to be about a 5-yard loss. All right, so, hey, look, you take whatever break you can get, Harks. If it's a bad snap, it's a penalty, whatever you've got to get. The Panthers are going to take it here because, they've had a couple bad breaks on this drive against them.
Regardless, you still have to capitalize. Even if it's a bad snap, they still got him in the backfield for that 5-yard loss. So good job by the Panthers capitalizing there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got about 2nd and 15 at the Panther 40 here, and, time to keep getting stout here. It's, the farther you get along in this game, plays are magnified. They're going off tackle again.
Yeah, great job.
Good job there. Who was that? That
Carone.
looks like Marco Carone. It was, Harks. Marco Carone is a big, strong kid, and he's having a nice night.
Yeah, he's the point of attack there on that counter play, and he's getting double teamed by both the guard and the tackle, and he still just fights over that double team, minimal gain.
Apparently, I got a nice shout out on KDKA Plus. That's just what I love to hear. I love those guys. All right, so 3rd and 12. This is a big play in the football game here.
St. Clair manned up. They're going after this rush.
They fake it. They're going to go down the field. They're going to throw long. It's going to be short. Can Bywalski get there? Oh, man, that dude did a nice job coming back to the football and almost making the play. That was number 11, Braden Stewart, who's been sort of quarterback/receiver, but Bywalski had really nice coverage.
Yeah, great physical play. I actually do love, since I have made a couple comments about the officiating, that ref over there kind of letting the guys play, attack the ball, and be physical. Good job officiating. Great play.
That's receiver's got every right to that ball. I got no problem with that. But good stuff from the Panthers to sort of get tough when it matters. We got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Panthers got to be careful here because this is deep in their territory. The Moon might get clever here. Snap is true. Kick is straight up in the air. They got to get out of the way. St. Clair's got to get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Marco almost caught it.
Marco didn't even see it, but that's why I was saying get out of the way. Marco, okay. Marco's going to Penn, man. I don't got to worry about that guy. He's the smartest kid out there.
They'll laugh about that one tomorrow, but I'll tell you what, I guarantee you every coach in that sideline was losing their minds there for a second.
So that when you try to pooch it, sometimes you go straight up in the air, and it's only only got to about the 27. So that is the end of the third quarter, and we talked about how games sort of shift and the trajectory shift. Offenses were the story in the first half. Defense is the story in the third quarter. We are still tied at 14. So, Harks, the Panthers have got the ball here. Decent field position. They've driven the ball pretty well. Any sort of ideas, thoughts on what this drive sort of might look like?
We've hit it at it a couple times. I feel like there has to be a breaking point now. They've been running the ball really, really well, but they haven't been converting in the red area, converting on their side of the field. So I wonder, if Coach Junk at some point has to say, if they're going to continue to man up on the outside, we saw St. Clair, a little mimic man go into zone in that last play, and then I think if Moon continues to go man and they're not going to drop out of there, you have great athletes in the outside. And we talk about Hellman's ability as a passer, I think at some point you have to take a shot despite your success running the football.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Patinsky is telling me that last one was cover 3 there, he's telling me.
I know. I just corrected myself right there. So
did you? I didn't even say it.
I said they bluffed man and dropped out the zone.
Yeah, but he's telling us we're doing a great job. So
Tim's the man.
Yeah, I loved it. I love hearing from all these people. It's I say it every week, but I mean it. The support of the community, the support of all the alums, the support of my friends, my family. My wife and children were watching at least the first half. Hopefully they're asleep now. It's a blessing, and I am thankful for all the support of this broadcast, for the support of this program, and the larger community. It's just a great place to be. So, all right, we are coming down to the nitty-gritty here. The season's on the line, and we're not speaking metaphorically here. Literally, the season is on the line for the Panthers if they want to go to the postseason. Got to get it done here in the fourth quarter. Got to be your best of the year, and the Panthers will be starting the fourth quarter with the ball 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line. Harks, anything you can sort of, in these situations, is there a game or something in particular you always sort of related back? We'll wait till stop here, but I want you to think about that. Oh, here he is off tackle. It's Mace. He's going upfield. He's at the 40. He's still going. He does not want to be stopped. Bobby Fleckenstein coming in, pushing the pile, but he gets all the way to the 42. Big gain, 16 for the Panthers.
Yeah, you see, we talked about their success running the football. Let's see. This is now where I would say we're approaching take-a-shot territory. Once you kind of get around midfield, first down, maybe a play-action pass. Probably not happening, though, with Dahlem here under center.
Yeah, so this is what Coach was talking about. Joel's carrying it 20 times or so. Oh, that's a great play. So he couldn't – it looked like he was slanted in that way, and we just couldn't chip him enough to get outside. That was Blade Elligan. He's just been fabulous tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Moon. Either they had a stun on or the guy read it really well. St. Clair trying to reach him on the outside, and he almost undercut it and made a good play.
So a loss of 3. Yeah, and the problem with that is, and we've talked about this, when the Panthers have gotten positive yardage, particularly on first down, stayed on schedule, they've been really good tonight, but it seems like there's been one play maybe every drive that's sort of thrown them off. Hopefully that's
get them
not
behind
it.
the sticks, yeah.
Correct. All right, so 2nd and 13 here for the Panthers. This is sort of a big play. They're blitzing, Moon's blitzing up the middle. Hellman's looking. He's escaping. He's getting to the outside. He's running. He's looking upfield. He's still going. He's going to get about to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to get about 3. So athletic play from Hellman. There were so many guys there. I think he just couldn't get his eyes too far downfield to find somebody.
Yeah, Moon continues to bring a lot of pressure, and that play was no exceptions. Definitely a swarm of white shirts in the backfield there.
All right, so we got a big one here. St. Clair came up with a stop. What you don't want to see is they got a first down, so they flipped the field a little bit, but you don't want to see getting the ball up quickly back to them. So pretty big play here. Let's see if the Panthers can get Hellman some time here, and you got to be looking for your playmakers here. This is either Dallum or Hellman or Bywalski here maybe. Hellman's rolling left. He's looking upfield. He's throwing downfield. It's Dallum. Oh, he couldn't quite pull it in. He did a nice job of shielding the D-back, but the D-back got his right hand in there and broke it up. So a good idea to try to put the ball up to your playmaker, but excellent defensive back play from Moon.
Yeah, we talked about them taking a shot definitely there on 3rd down, trying to get a big chunk play and just unable to come up. I mean, good coverage by Moon, though, all over him for sure.
Yeah, a lot of credit. I mean, Jules, he's great at that type of one-on-one situation, and Moon did a really nice job. So we've talked about special teams, and special teams is big. This is Jacobo seeing if he can flip the field position here. It's a good snap. They're rushing hard. Jacobo gets it away. It's a really nice punt from Jacobo. He bombed it. It's bouncing, and it goes out of bounds. It was directionally sound to all the way down to the 14. Jacobo Echeverria Lozano, just beautiful stuff. He's a fabulous, fabulous athlete, such a big leg, and the coaches tell me or tell anybody who listen, he will be a Division I kicker of some type. He has that big of a leg.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it on display there, and St. Clair continuing to perform in the special teams play, and it's something that we talked about in the first half, and it's continued on in the second half.
Yeah, you got to make Moon go the length of the field if you can, and I think the bottom line is, as good as Moon has been in the run game, you're hoping that making them make a bunch of first downs as opposed to getting a splash play, you can kind of get a stop. I mean, Moon executes their offense beautifully. There's no argument of that. And, but the Panthers did a nice job last drive. Let's see if they can continue to be a little bit stout here.
For sure.
All right, so Panthers still have the 5 down linemen here. It's been sort of the look they've really stuck with the second half. Boy, look, he is just a truck. So we've got a flag down. Hopefully it was not a face mask. I couldn't tell. But, I mean, Nazir Brookins is an absolute tank. When he gets going with a head of steam, we got no answer for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 25 years old and 250 pounds. I wouldn't want to meet him in the hole, that's for sure.
Look at his lower half.
I know.
Dude is a tank.
Tree trunk legs.
So I can't tell. Is it going to be a face mask? Moon looks like they're backing up. It was thrown by the umpire.
I wonder if it was that push from behind.
It could have been. Again, I talked about that in the first half. That is a new rule point of emphasis. I don't love it, but at the same time, you could call that a lot given the formation. But I don't know what they're calling. This is the second time they've sort of been in a huddle that I didn't see anything.
No, they're going with something. Offense,
so they said the ball carrier grabbed the face mask. So you don't see that called, but I'm seeing it called more this year. I'm seeing it called more this year about guys who are being a little aggressive with the stiff arm. I don't love it, but if you grab, I get it.
Grab and throw. I mean,
I get it.
Again, we're talking about big, scrappy running back. Anything can happen when he's coming barreling downhill. So probably just got a little grabby there.
I'd kind of. We don't have the benefit of replay. I'd kind of like to see it again. I'm guessing if they threw that flag, it had to be fairly egregious. I don't love that on average. All right, so Panthers will take it here. We are back almost to the original line of scrimmage. I mean, it'd be about 1st and 11, I think. So, all right. This is Bladel going wide. He's got a head of steam as well. Julian Dallum, great job from the secondary spot. Bladel's such a strong kid. Going to his legs is a beautiful thing.
Yes, there's basically, great job by Julian, obviously, but the defensive end really, in my opinion, made that play. There's kind of 2 different techniques. You can take a hard joint or a spill technique when you're taking on a puller. The spill technique forces it outside. Your defenders come over the top, and that's pretty much textbook what we saw there. They could put that on teach tape.
So we've got a second and maybe 9 or 10. It's interesting because, I do feel like the Panthers have done a better job again sort of containing this offense in the second half, and obviously they've not given up any points, but, you worry about some of this misdirection stuff. They're going wide again. They got a gap. Uh-oh, here we go. And he's going down the sidelines. He's got a big gain, and he's going to go. Unbelievable. Just like we talked about, we didn't think they had the big play, and Paul Brana goes basically 85 yards, and that is a total backbreaker for the Panthers.
Yeah, and we talked about one of the things that this rushing attack can do is it can kind of wear you down, lull you to sleep, and then next thing you know, you said you're looking at the back of someone's jersey running 80 yards down the field. Exactly what we saw there.
Yeah, I mean, that is a real gut punch because, it'd be one thing if it was like some sort of misdirection or anything that looked like basically just sort of your basic off tackle that we just did not get to the corner to contain it. And I'm sure the defensive coaches will be really disappointed considering how much better they've been at the point of attack this half.
Yeah, definitely. So while we're kind of waiting, I think we might have a TV timeout or they're taking a look at something here. Looks like Coach was all the way on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything there other than just not getting to the pursuit, not getting to the corner. I didn't see anything there. Coach is
Are they trying to suggest maybe he stepped out of bounds?
Oh, no, somebody was hurt on the side.
Okay.
Can't tell if is that 8 by Walski?
Yeah, by Wall. The guy who's chasing down the defender. I wonder if when he dove down, had something happen there.
Boy, the one thing I didn't see coming, I didn't have on my bingo card tonight was that. I saw Moon methodically moving the ball. I did not see a big play like that coming. At least not one where they don't break it up the gut and like we sort of suck guys in. I didn't see a sort of a simple off tackle going 87 yards.
Especially with the team speed that St. Clair has, getting beat to the outside is pretty surprising. But I think to the point here, it's only 21-14, 9 minutes left in the game, plenty of time left for St. Clair to have a good drive here and get right back in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The offense, like I said, the offense has been good. It just seems like there's been one play, a lot of drives that have sort of knocked them off schedule. They got to sort of stay off schedule, keep moving the ball. Extra point is up and good for the Tigers. So with 8:52 to go, the Tigers take a late fourth quarter lead here over the Panthers. The Panthers, you talk about a game of adjustments, Hark. This is kind of gut check time.
So one thing that will be interesting, I did notice that Hellman, when he came to the sideline, pretty much the entire Moon possession, he was working with Coach Robbins and a couple other coaches on the iPad looking at something. I wonder if there's something the Panthers noticed there in that last drive, maybe in the passing game or even the running game, that they're going to take advantage of here.
So, Harks, this is what I wanted to ask you the last time. So you played in a lot of big games in your career. Was there one you can sort of point to in terms of like, a situation like this, kind of a do or die thing was really memorable for you, in a good or bad way, really?
Do or die. I mean, I in a bad way I can think of, it was our senior year. We played Lebo at home on our senior night. It was, I wouldn't say do or die, but basically we win the game, we get a top 5 or 6 seed within the playoffs. We lose the game and we're 12 or 13 seed in the playoffs and probably playing a very good football team. And so I think that in those moments, same thing that happened in that game, is basically the team that made more big plays down the stretch, the teams that won. Lebo had a extremely questionable end around where we had the guy tackled in the backfield and he actually refed and calmed down and he burst up the sideline. Yeah. So, again, Moon, big play there. So let's see if St. Clair can respond with their own.
Yeah. Oh, got one more shout out here. Eric Render's whole family is watching, which is very cool. His daughter June is also watching along with his son George. It's a family affair. The Render name is probably the first name you think of when you think of Upper St. Clair football. And
football family.
It wouldn't shock me if JT and his family is watching too. He probably would have appreciated that I was watching the 92 highlight video. I saw him scoring on an end around and some things like that. So, all right. So we are back here. Hark's a big play in the special teams wouldn't hurt. It would sort of be fitting the way what we've seen.
Absolutely.
Pretty good kick this time. Yeah, you can't take it out. So are you a little surprised that they've sort of kicked short all day when you have that? I mean, that dude boomed that.
Yeah, I think they actually changed kickers after that first little knuckler that we saw, and I think, since then they've pretty much been at the goal line both times.
Yeah, Hayden Bolin, number 82, boomed that one. That was a dandy. So Panthers are going to start on their own 20, which, it doesn't make things any easier here, does it?
No, definitely not. I mean, driving 80 yards against the Moon defense that has put up a really good fight, especially bend don't break style. They've given up some yardage to the run game to St. Clair, but really when it's mattered, they've tightened up.
Yeah, Moon's defense has been fairly stout in the second half. Panthers have had a couple drives, but no points allowed, and so I'm sure Ryan Lynn will be really happy about what they've done. Here's John Banbury is in a tailback. There he goes. There's the freshman, John Banbury. He's at the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, and all the way to the 43. So the freshman, Johnny Banbury, gets his first carry. And, we talked about the Dallum family. So I've had the pleasure of coaching the Banburys. They are insanely competitive. And this kid is a 9th grader. He is going to be very, very special.
I mean, you saw the burst there. We talk about the explosive plays. Moon had one of their own 85-yard touchdown runs. St. Clair answering right back. Great response by the Panthers.
Yeah, loved it. Great blocking up front. Bobby Fleckenstein, Nate Stoll, Brock Gillespie, Mason Geyer, Marco Carone doing a really nice job tonight. Here comes Banbury again. Nice cut. So he's a little bit of a different style of runner than Mace. Mace is really patient. Bands is kind of a one-cut-and-go downhill sort of guy, and maybe they think that Moon defense is wearing down a little bit. This style might work a little better.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar styles that we see with the pro team. You have one runner in Najee Harris that's kind of more patient and subtle with his cuts, and then Warren, who, he comes out there like a shot out of a cannon, really what we've seen out of Banbury here the last 2 carries. Yeah,
so he got about 5. We're at the Moon 38. We're probably in four down territory given the score right now. So, hopefully the Panthers can, again, stay on schedule and keep moving the football here. Oh, flea flicker. He's got to get rid of it. He's got a man if he can get it. It's Van Helman. It's Van Helman. Helman to Helman. Great throw, great catch. And this is what we talked about. This kid is competitive as it comes.
And, another thing we have talked about is when is St. Clair going to take their shot? They're at midfield shot, little flea flicker. And what I love about the quarterback, too, first of all, connected with his brother, how awesome, but standing in there, knowing he's going to get hit and delivering a strike. Awesome play.
He knew he was going to get a pop that. He knew he was going to get popped, and he stepped into the throw. It takes a lot of courage, and he did it. So now we're first and goal from the 6. This would be a great response if the Panthers can get this in.
A little movement there on the right side.
Unfortunately, that's going to make it worse.
We got another Stripes congregation here.
Yeah, so unless there was some sort of movement on the defensive side that I didn't see, that's clearly going back 5.
Yeah, it was right tackle and right guard.
Yeah, so that's again. We've talked about this so frequently tonight. It seems like the Panthers have moved the ball successfully, but every single drive that they have not been successful with, there's been something like this. It's been a penalty. It's been a loss. Something like and
they sputtered in the red zone for sure.
Yeah, and some of this, Harks, is probably the youth. They play a lot of sophomores, they play a lot of juniors, and even this late in the season, it's just not the same as seniors.
Absolutely.
All right, here's Hellman. He's rolling. It's a throwback again. Bands has some room. Banbury's going. He will not be denied, and John Banbury, the 9th grader, does an amazing job on the throwback screen, gets a touchdown, and the Panthers got a chance to tie here.
When they ran that play to Albert, we talked about left tackle needing to get flat down the line of scrimmage and getting out and getting that overhang defender. Marco Carone, big number 78, great job getting flat down the line of scrimmage upfield, and then Banbury, dragging people into the end zone. Awesome play, great call by the Panthers.
Yeah, I thought that play might work. They might come back to it because there was literally one guy there away from being a touchdown. And John Banbury, what can you say? Hadn't touched the ball all night and would not be denied on that drive. All right, good snap. Bennett, kick is up. Kick is good, and we are tied at 21 with 6:41 to play. And tell you what, Harks, this game has had a little bit of everything. This is what you would expect from 2 of the top teams in 5A.
It's now an interesting wrinkle here, though. We already have seen like a 6-7 minute touchdown drive from Moon. If they really want to and they really think they can establish this rushing attack again, this could be it. The Panthers need to bow up here.
Yeah, I'll be super interested here in sort of how the Panthers respond, because it seems like the Panthers have done a better job on the defensive side of the ball but they've got to be aware of the fact that they just went 85 yards on one particular play. But, man, I cannot give enough credit to John Banbury, a guy who now he's played the whole game, obviously, on the defensive side of the ball, but to come in and be this impressive as a ninth grader in crunch time is really impressive.
I mean, and I wonder if, we saw Mason come out with a little wrist injury. I wonder if maybe that's nagging him there a little bit, and that's why John was in. But, I mean, you see, like, stepping up in the big moments. This is crunch time, money time in the football game, fourth quarter, and you're handing it off to a freshman who didn't even blink.
If you want to hear a surprising score, Peters Township and Cannon McMillan are tied at 10 with 5:54 to go in the fourth quarter. So
Whoa.
Sometimes the transitive property doesn't work in in football because Peters smacked both of these teams on this field.
Yeah, they've been rolling pretty well.
Yeah, and St. Clair, beat the Big Macs. So it goes to show you any given night. These are high school kids too. I mean,
16 through 18-year-olds. I mean,
I laugh sometimes because I'll have these conversations with people who are sort of independent, and they make it sound like these are professionals getting paid. I'm like, you guys don't understand at all. I've been coaching for 23 years. These high school kids, man, you just never know
they were
any
in
given
math
day.
Class 12 hours ago.
Yeah, man. Guys might have broke up with his girlfriend today. All right, so believe this is Jacobo. He's going to boom it. Wow, that is a nice kickoff, and that is way deep in the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. Really yeah, he's just a special talent. He was the freshman point guard last year in hoops. He's not going to continue playing hoops, but he could. I mean, he's just a really talented kid. Great kid, too. So good for Jacobo. That's a big play for the Panthers. And here we go. This has been probably the matchup that's been the most intriguing and the one that's been the biggest for the Panthers tonight. Can they stop the Moon rushing game?
And we saw Moon late in that first half, and even in that one long touchdown drive they had to make it 14-7. Had a lot of success running out of the gun, almost like a Wildcat-esque formation with those two fullbacks where their offensive linemen up at the line of scrimmage. I wonder if they go back to that, and here we are.
All right, so ball at the 20. They are at least going to have to go a long way again, but that did not. They were not. There was not a problem last time. Here they're going off tackle again. Boy, that was Banbury, and he came in. Oh no, he's still on his feet. Boy, the guy who fell down was the lead blocker, and they end up getting 6 or 7 yards. So good first down gain for Moon.
Yeah, and you see it going back to that QB run kind of Wildcat-esque spin-off they have of this triple option. It's all the same kind of concepts and plays. You guys a little bit of window dressing, doing it a little differently in the backfield.
It's impressive. I mean, they have so many underclassmen St. Clair do on this defensive line. It's amazing. Perrine's a sophomore, and Geyer's a sophomore, and Stoll's a junior, and Albert's a junior. It's really impressive. Oh, it's a bad snap. Can Van Helman get there? Oh, he still has. The ball's still loose. I think John Banbury. No, who is it? I'm not going to guess. I thought one of the Panthers got it. It looks like Moon got it back, but that is a huge play in this game. Naz Brookins had trouble going back to get it, but looks like he jumped on it. But now we've gone from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 15. This will be really interesting, Hark. So, what do you do here if you're Moon? I mean, they've thrown almost not at all.
I mean, basically the only time we've seen them in any kind of traditional spread formation was when they ran empty and they ran 2 QB draws. They really haven't passed out of a traditional formation yet.
Yeah, they had the running back throw for a touchdown. Uh-oh. Off tackle, and they got lots of room. Unbelievable. He's going to go again. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe what I just saw. 3rd and 15. They go 85 yards, and it is the same guy, Brona, for a touchdown. And honestly, Harks, I don't know what to say about it. That was what we've seen all game, a QB draw off tackle on 3rd and 15, and they go 85 yards.
Yeah, great hard run by Brunel there. I mean, just pretty impressive for Moon. I mean, it's very hard to rely on back to their 85-yard gains, but Moon here in this fourth quarter is living there. I mean, they're basically 2 plays, the only plays they've gained yards on really in this second half. Yeah,
I mean, 2 85-yard touchdowns on nondescript off tackle plays. I've talked about this. I'm not a football guy. I don't have a high level understanding of this stuff. It just seems like, how can that happen? It's just amazing to me that, once maybe it's a breakdown, but on 3rd and 15, an off tackle right on the biggest defensive play of the game. That's just a huge breakdown.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like St. Clair. I mean, we talked at a couple of the third and longs. They've gone in, subbed the defensive back in, gone 3 down linemen. They still had heavier personnel in that game. And I mean, the credit to Moon for creating a gash and breaking it all the way for 6.
Yeah, it's just wow. I'm really in disbelief right now. That is hard to believe that football play just happened.
You talk about the highs and the lows. I mean, we thought St. Clair had the ball just 20 seconds before, and
no, if you'd have told me that basically the same play they ran earlier would have resulted in that on that play, I would have laughed.
Especially a well-coached team like St. Clair.
I mean, there's no question about it. This is where, and I talk about this with a lot of the color guys, this is where I wish I knew a lot more about football, because it seems like that just should never, ever happen. And you wonder how it's possible. It's not like the coaches it's not like that was anything surprising.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to whoever executes better. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we thought both these teams really well coached, and sometimes players make plays.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, the good news is if you're a Panther fan, there's 5:12 left. There is a lot of time left in the football game. And, the Panthers' offense has been good in stretches. And, frankly, when they haven't shot themselves in the foot with some negative plays, they've moved the ball consistently. But, it's the momentum stuff. I mean, it has to be demoralizing to have that happen twice to you in the fourth quarter of a football game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be interested to see what they do at the running back spot here. We saw a lot of success with Banbury. I'm looking to see if I see Chambers down there on the sideline. Don't know if I can see him down over there right behind a coach, but I don't know if he's looking ready like he's going into the game or what's the deal there.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a wrist. There he is. It looks like he's down on about the 30-yard line. So I don't know. I mean, either he's banged up or they think that with the defense tired, Banbury might be a guy. So this is Dante Corey, number 7. He turns it upfield. He's got a little bit of a crease. He's at the 30. He gets it to about the 31-yard line. Not a bad return for Dante. So decent field position for the Panthers, and we'll see what we got on the offensive side of the ball here.
Yeah, it looks like Banbury's coming in for Chambers there.
All right, so let's see what the Panthers got up their sleeve here. It's a fake to Banbury. It's a screen, and he's got a lot of room here. Here's Van Helmen. Dallin gets a block. Helman's at about the 50. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
They got their helmet right on the football, but it went right out of bounds to the 50, so the Panthers get a little bit of a break.
Now it looks like we got some scrub texting us right now.
Oh, it's Darius Radfar, my former point guard. He's watching on his phone from New York. D, you got some crazy long hair man.
I think actually that's Nick Tucci, and Darius is, cuddling up next to him, taking a picture.
Oh, that probably is Tucci. I was gonna say.
How's it going, boys?
Tucci has beautiful hair. All right, so that was a good gainer. Nice little misdirection pass. Now Hellman's got a little bit of time. Now he runs out of time. He's scrambling. Oh, he gets tripped up. He throws. He got a man. Oh, his brother caught it. He just went down because he juggled it. I think he was looking to run a little quick. That was a tremendous play by Ethan Hellman.
Yeah, I mean, great play. I mean, you see, like, his brother was open earlier, but then Ethan kind of scrambling around and was able to find him later in the play. Great job.
All right, so another first down. I like the.
There's Mason back in the
Mason's
game.
back in the game. He gets about 3 or so there. Not a bad idea. You're obviously in 4-down territory here. We got 4:20 and running, and it's beautiful, to see all of the sort of wrinkles that both teams are coming up with. And it's do or die time now, and so you're sort of seeing they're pulling out all the stops. We've seen some really cool misdirection stuff, for the, from the Panther offense here.
For sure.
All right, 2nd and about 7. Here's Chambers. He's There he goes. Mason's going. He's at the 15, the 10. Can Mason get to the corner? He's going to score. Mason Chambers. A big 28-yard run, and this game is just haymakers.
Man,
back
what
and
a fourth
forth.
quarter we had. I thought after that third quarter, I was like, oh, maybe 17-14 wins this ball game. But, man, what a fourth quarter. What a tough physical run. We talked about Banbury on the last drive, and his backfield made Mason Chambers dragging people into the end zone as well.
I'll be honest, Harks. Well, I'm gonna wait till the extra point comes. This is. I'm gonna wait till the extra point comes before I editorialize. I never assume high school kids are gonna get everything right. Good snap, good hold, and it's up and it's good. So I'm looking over at Matt Fargo right now doing the KDKA Plus
shaking
broadcast.
his head.
But we talked last night. He was sort of getting the 411 about St. Clair, and he said, we've had a lot of non-competitive games on the air the last couple weeks. What do you think? I said, I don't know about what I think about who's going to win a football game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think these teams are evenly matched, and this has been a fantastic football game. It's had a little bit of everything. I've been exasperated. I've been excited. But these are two good football teams and two well-coached football teams, as we expected in the outset. And now we are tied at 28 with 3:48 to play. So if you're tuned in, Panther fans, this is not the time to turn off the broadcast because, this would be like reading 300 pages of a 325-page book. You want to see how this one ends, I think.
For sure.
So, Harks, I got to ask, what do you do? How do you adjust on the defensive side of the ball if you're the Panthers, given that, we've seen all kinds of strange stuff now with these sort of off-tackle breakaway play?
So I think it's almost like it's not like the Panthers have been out of position. They've been in position, and it's been great, frankly, great plays by Moon, physical runs. I think you almost have to get back to the basics, fundamentals, tackle, wrap up, pursue the football, and I think that if the Panthers do that, they should be in good shape to walk out of here with a win.
So was that a referee injured?
It looked like they were checking out a ref, yes. Interesting.
Can't say I've seen a referee injured before in a game either. So we've seen a lot of stuff on my bingo card that I did not have. My man Nico's back there shaking his head. He is a crazy game, man. High school athletics is just beautiful. Although I tell you this, as much as I love coaching young people, if I was coaching a game like this, I would be absolutely losing my mind right now.
You have 25,000 steps.
Yeah,
you're up and down the side.
I can't handle the momentum shifts like this. I'd be apoplectic. But I talked with Coach Bob Junko about this a week or two ago, and I said, Coach Junk, I would never want to coach football. And he laughed. He said, why? He said, I see you guys do such a good job of basketball. I said, because when we screw up in basketball, you have no idea. Like when people screw up in football, coaches, it is obvious.
Yep.
And I don't want to handle that. But this game is bonkers right now. I'm telling you, this is a crazy game. We got 3:48 left, and I was going to say Moon, wasn't going to be a quick strike offense. They were going to be possessed the ball, but they've gone 85 yards twice in a row here in one play.
I was thinking the same thing. Not designed to drive the ball under 3 minutes, but they did a pretty good job with the last two possessions.
And Jacobo, to top off his last kickoff, kicked that one almost out of the end zone. So that's an incredible leg that kid has. So, all right, let's rock and roll. Let's see what the Panthers can do. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect at this point, Harks. The last two possessions have blown my mind so badly that I don't even know what to think.
And I think it's important as the Panthers, though, not to panic. Like we said, they have been playing very good defensive football in the second half, save two monster plays. And credit to Moon, obviously where credit's due. But the Panthers have really controlled the game defensively in this second half outside of those two plays. I think they say, hey, if we make two tackles, we're completely dominating the second half.
Okay, that's fair. I like that take. All right, so here comes Moon. They're going right again. This is Bladell. He's still on his feet, but not much there, only about a yard, so pretty stout. That was an interesting formation. The guys sort of all shifted and sort of pulled to their right, but not much there.
Yeah, I wish you could take a picture down that line of scrimmage. I think you probably had 20 hats down that line of scrimmage on that play, 10 on either side, all up there.
No, honestly, Harks, they are really flashing to the ball. I guess what worries you is, you break through, but they've got to really have, everybody going to the ball right now.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to see. So Beck Shields 45 has done played a lot now in the second half on the linebacker spot. He's a sophomore, another big, strong, athletic kid, good lacrosse player. They're off tackle right with the quarterback. We shouldn't be surprised, but Marco Carone does a really nice job coming in, as well as that's Perrine. That's Reese Perrine. Does a really nice job. He's played a lot at the nose tonight at the sophomore. He's a product of two St. Clair parents, Reed Perrine, class of 95, Liz Sorvis, class of 96. And so, I love to see those Panthers doing things, and he's had a nice night.
Really impressive. I mean, you mentioned it a couple times, like these young players for the Panthers stepping up in big situations. Now, huge third down here. Let's see if we get another young Panther stepping up.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. This is obviously an enormous play as clock runs to about 2 minutes. And I'm not going to lie, I would be expecting that off tackle right. Uh-oh. Please tell me they did not get the defense to jump. I think they did. I think they hard counted them, and a lot of guys jumped just a little over anxious.
It looks like it's going to be maybe 4th and short.
Yeah, it's going to be only 3rd and 2 instead.
Or 3rd and 2, sorry.
Or 3rd and 3. So that's a big play. I mean, again, it's easy to see how that happens. You just want to get off the ball so badly, but you gotta keep. What is it? Hold your water, they like to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so about 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 here. It's Bladel again. He's going hard into the line. Boy, they're going to give it to him where they spotted it. They're going to give him forward progress, which, he has a much better angle than I do. But, boy, who came in there? Van Helman came in there and hit him
Huge
hard.
Stick in the hole there, yeah.
It's going to be a first down. The good news is, they're not moving the ball quickly right now, at least, and so there's only 2 minutes to go. This is not going to be fast enough to get points.
Yeah, I was thinking there when it was after second down when St. Clair might consider maybe calling a timeout, but it looks like Moon's pretty content. They're not moving fast. They're now huddling up. I mean, it's been a slow pace for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be sort of interesting to see the way this plays out if they don't get another big one. Going up the middle, there's Big Nate Stoll. He's going to bring him down for a gain of about 3 or so.
Moon probably is going to call timeout here. If they don't, I'm kind of curious as to what we're thinking.
I think they did.
Yep.
Yeah, so Moon calls timeout. That is their first of the half. It's going to be about 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 6. Yeah, Lauren Anderson's asking Harks if the Panthers do win, he wants to hear the University of Dayton fight song.
So, we always joked as football players, we just sing it after every game, and pretty much the only thing I know is For the Red and Blue. So it's
dude, the Pitt guys love their fight song.
Oh, I know. VICTORY.
Yeah, I love the fight song. Yeah, I know most awake, so but it is really like it gets in your head, and it's like addicting as it can be. So
I still know St. Clair's too.
I know every word of St. Clair's.
Yeah.
I know every word of St. Clair's, but again, it isn't very long, and also when I used to lead the PEP assemblies, I kind of had to lead us in that. I hope that our KDKA Plus booth over there is appreciating the magnitude of the competitable of this football game.
Oh, I looked down after that last touchdown by Chambers there. They were fist pumping, they were
love
high-fiving, they were all fired up. Almost more so than us homers were.
Yeah, when you don't have a horse in the race, man, you can just enjoy a great football game. I'm over here on the edge of my seat, nervous as I can be.
I'm tapping my feet now too.
Yeah, it's tough to explain to people. I coach a lot of these kids. I know a lot of these kids personally. I see the way they hurt after losses, and it gets to you. That's what it's all about. So, 2nd and about 7 or 6. They're blitzing. Here comes Banbury. Banbury's got him. Oh boy, who came in there and lit him up?
Yeah.
That was Nate Stoll. Boy, Nate Stoll. He's still mad about that one penalty, and he is. So is Moon going to call another timeout here? I'll be very interested to see, or if Moon is because
if Moon doesn't, I'd be considering one if I'm Coach Junko.
Yeah, it's a tough balance because the way Moon's run game has worked, I don't think you can take a timeout if you're St. Clair. Mm-hmm. As aggressive as I am, I don't think I do it now. Of course, if they get a stop here, then you can use a timeout. And frankly, with the kicker they have and the quarterback they have, St. Clair will have enough time.
Yep.
It's but they got to get a stop. So it's a direct snap here. They're going wide. They got some space there. Oh, nice. Who was that? It was Julian Dallin. He went out of bounds.
Yep.
So that's a big play because the Panthers get to preserve their timeouts. So there's 45 seconds left in this football game, and the Panthers do have 2 timeouts. So you have to assume Moon's going to punt the ball away. Now, Another thing to talk about is Moon's snapping and exchanges have not been beautiful, and their punter has been erratic. So, but the Panthers have to be careful here about, they got to be careful to, make sure their personnel's on the field. They're not getting caught in something bad. And
they've been great in special teams all game. Now is not the time to
it's not the time to see a special teams mistake. It's a good punt. Wow, what a punt.
Oh.
So Evan Taylor, the senior, does a nice job catching it. So 39 seconds left, ball on the 27. The way the Panthers have thrown the ball, not impossible. Okay, you got a great kicker, you have a poised sophomore quarterback, and you have the weapons in the passing game. Hey, let's give it a roll, Harks.
2 timeouts, 39 seconds. With their skill they have on the outside, this is definitely doable for the Panthers.
Yeah, outstanding. So it will be fascinating to me. The other part about it is, how far is too far to kick a field goal, too? You have 2 kickers who can both bomb it, so, how far do you need to
get?
And
I think one thing that you open up there, too, is
the block.
We know that Bennett can kick. Coach knows it's saying, I think I was a freshman or a sophomore, the St. Clair Lebo game where Joe Rep blocked that kick.
Yeah.
For
They had a kick block return for a touchdown last week against Cannon Mac. So here comes Hellman. Oh, nice little move to the outside. He's going to try to get out of bounds. He will. He does get out of bounds. Oh, that could have been 15. Nope, didn't call it. It wasn't, I guess, enough contact. But
should have embellished it a little more.
Yeah, he should have fell. 31 seconds left. The Panthers have the ball at about their own 41. So to be conservative here, I think the Panthers have to get 30 yards. 30 yards in 31 seconds. It's doable, Harks.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about your target line, if you have a kicker you think you're comfortable up to 50, I think 35 to 37 is probably the range there.
Yeah, correct. I totally agree. All right, snap back to Hellman. They're doing it again. Oh, boy, they're going to have to use the timeout here. So, not sure. I think they may have gotten a little cute there, Harks. They were, I love Hellman running the ball, but, they were not pushing as hard there on the blitz.
Yeah, I think they caught Moon on their heels a little by surprise there. It's tough to trick, especially a well-coached team, tough to trick them 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, so we got 25 seconds left. Ball on the 37, 2nd and 10. All right, Harks, so is there any sort of route combo look that you like to use in a situation like this? Like, let's say you need a 10-yard gain, a 13-yard gain, just a first down here.
So especially with the way Moon has been playing, I would love some kind of double move with an underneath backfilling the double move. So maybe a deep crosser with working off the double move on the other side, I think would be what I would go to here. You're asking the offensive lineman about what route combination. So I'm no Alex Park over here, but I think that'd be something I'd go for. Is try and take advantage of Moon's kind of press coverage, aggressive style on the outside, while also leaving yourself a safety valve underneath.
Yeah, wow, this is crazy. Everybody's gotten their money's worth tonight, but let's see who wants to be a hero here, Harks. These are the type of games where you can really make a memory that's special.
Absolutely.
All right, so Hellman's back. He's rolling left. He's got some time. He's throwing downfield. He's got down. Down turns back. That could have been interference. I'll tell you what. So when he worked back for the ball, the guy grabbed him. It's probably not a call you make in that situation because it's sort of a Hail Mary type situation, but he definitely grabbed him.
Yeah, I think if we're talking second quarter,
that's
you probably a flag.
Yeah, you're right.
Fourth quarter game on the line. I like the refs keeping the laundry in their pocket.
I think that's a fair analysis. All right, so I like the idea. So now it's a little more interesting because you got to try to get a first down. So it'll be interesting to see what the Panthers offer here, because it isn't that I'm worried about Moon getting the ball back as much as it is you need a new set of downs here. You have 2 timeouts left, so you can go to the middle of the field. Or excuse me, you have 1 timeout left, so you can go to the middle of the field.
There it goes there.
So the Panthers are going to use, it looks like their last.
Clock was running low there.
Yes, the Panthers are going to use their last timeout. So that's unfortunate because now it takes away the ability to use the middle of the field. Although if you get a first down, you can at least have the clock stop to move the sticks long enough to get a spike. But I think this pass now has to be probably a little further down the field.
Yeah, I think especially with no timeout. I know the clock stops on the to reset the sticks there, but I think still middle of the field is probably not your friend at this point in time.
Yeah, but Moon probably knows that too.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
They're going to play sticks defense, and they're going to guard the sideline.
All right, so let's see what Coach Junko has in his bag of tricks. If you have something you love that or something you saw on film this week that you were saving, this is probably the moment to use it. So the Panthers looks like they're in a set with 2 wide left. Got a sidecar here in Chambers. Hellman at the wing back, and then another receiver to the bottom of the screen. It's going to be a handoff to Chambers. There goes Mason. Here he goes. He's at the 45. He's at the 40. He's got to go down, and they got to spike the ball. 7 seconds. 6. They don't have any timeouts, unfortunately.
Oh, Moon player's down. That's going to be huge.
Oh, Moon player is injured. This is the biggest break of the game right now. They get up. They got to get up to get ready to spike the ball.
No matter what, yeah.
So, assuming the clock starts when they reset it, because I don't think this is a clock stop until a snap. St. Clair's got to get up and spike the ball, and then I think they got to try a field goal.
49-yard field goal.
It's a 49, 50-yard field goal, but honestly, that's a better chance than getting a touchdown.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. I mean, interesting Moon. I think the last 2 plays, we saw it on the double move on the bootleg to the left, then we saw it in that last play. They actually bracketed Dahlem. I mean, probably a smart thing to do with how talented he is, and I love Coach Junk kind of like zigging when everyone else thinks he's going to zag.
So that's what Coach Junk is telling him. Coach Junk is telling him this clock is going to start immediately. This is not a stop clock. It's an injury, so they got to get up and spike the ball.
Yep.
And then I think you got to get your special teams ready and give Bennett a chance. I mean, in terms of the distance here, Bennett has this distance. I mean, I'm telling you, Bennett has this distance without a problem. It's just a matter of 2 things. Harks has mentioned already, blocks. When you try to go for longer kicks, it's a lower kick a lot of times. And the second, and this is high school kids. The second part about it is, it's from the left hash. But yeah, it's.
I think this far back though, a righty with like the little left hash, you can work it right to left, get a little more distance. Out of it.
That's fair. I am not going to claim I know anything about place kicking. I know absolutely nothing about place kicking.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm just pretending.
No, other than Bennett's, other than I watch Bennett work out at the school, and he's really good at it. So this is going to be a spike here, I would imagine. Oh no, he kneeled. Oh no, he kneeled. I think he kneeled.
Yep.
Unbelievable. He kneeled. He instead of spiking the ball, he kneeled, and that's going to run out the clock. Oh, he's got to shake that off because we got to go to overtime fast. Wow. Unbelievable. This game is there's been things in this game I've never seen before in my life. This is incredible.
But like you said, I mean, now it's whatever just happened does not matter. Now you got to win this game in overtime.
Well,
it's so tough.
I'll tell you what, Harks. One of the things you're really shooting back to is you wish you had that last time out.
Yep. Because
if you had the last time out, you could have called a timeout, got everybody situated. You wouldn't have needed to spike the ball, and you could have gotten the field goal set up. So the seniors need to be over talking to Ethan Hellman right now, calming him down. He's a very competitive kid. He's an emotional kid. You know he's feeling bad right now. If you're a senior leader on this team, you got to be picking up your quarterback and saying, look, you're one of the reasons we're here. Let's, calm it down. And so,
for sure. I mean, the first thing that Coach Junk did when that happened, he was out there almost at midfield grabbing his quarterback, calming him down. So I think that what they're doing is right now it's going to be on Ethan to kind of bounce back.
Yeah, my boys with KDK Plus are looking over at me. Matty Farrago and I were talking last night. Oh, we haven't had competitive games on our air. Is this good enough for you, cuz? Unbelievable. This game has had stuff I have never seen in a football game in my life. Unbelievable. So, all right, Harks, let's talk strategy here. Now, I can't imagine St. Clair is too upset to be in this position because their offense is trending in the right direction for sure. The defensive side of the ball, frankly, because you're not as worried about the big play in this format, maybe it's a benefit.
Yeah, and I mean, we even talked about defensively is like outside of those 2 plays, and I know it's a very large caveat. We're missing 170 yards, 190 yards of touchdowns there, but like the outside of those 2 plays, they've looked really, really solid in the second half. Seems like they almost kind of figured it out.
Yeah, so Coach Render's asking me, can Bennett hit a 53-yard field goal? And I can assure you, standing next to me on this field, now it's in shorts. I've seen him hit 55. I've seen him hit a 55-yarder with plenty of room to spend.
He made 3 53s before the game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, are the odds good? No, but you'd love to have seen the opportunity. So here we go. The Panther captains are back out there. It's Bywalski, Chambers, Albert, and Carone. And, Harks, win or lose, it's been an unbelievable effort from the Panthers. But at the end of the day, this is a game they had many opportunities to win in regulation. So I think they're going to feel a little bit now like they've let one slip away, and maybe they're going to be extra motivated, I hope, to say we cannot lose this football game, a game we had every opportunity to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate response moment. They've continued to respond to everything Moon has thrown at them. They've bounced back. They've scored after Moon has had 2 85-yard touchdown drives, and they've responded the entire second half. And now it's, the ultimate test of how strong-willed your response is here.
Yeah, it is quite – you've basically seen everything that you see in high school sports. One of the reasons I love high school sports, it's kind of like the argument of college sports versus pros. And I don't argue that pros isn't amazing and their talents aren't amazing, but the momentum shifts and the imperfection and the emotion is one of the reasons I love high school and college sports.
Tons of variability.
Yeah, and it to me, okay, it's a different game and it's not perfect, but it's beautiful in that reason. And and again, and we talk about this all the time. These are kids, and they're going to make kid mistakes, and they're going to make outstanding plays that you can't believe a 16-year-old kid can make. And so, appreciating that and valuing that, I think, is a beautiful thing.
I mean, would we be really surprised if Ethan Hellman comes out here and throws a touchdown pass on
not
the
at
first
all.
play? Absolutely not at all.
No,
right?
Let me tell you something. Ethan Hellman, okay, he made a mistake at the end of the game. That kid is mentally tough.
He's part of the reason they're still in this game.
No
frankly.
question.
Yeah.
He's been great tonight. But he is mentally tough. And again, you got to – so let's set the overtime situation for people who don't know. So the ball is at the 10-yard line. It's not like any other overtime. The ball is at the 10-yard line. You have 4 downs to get it in, plain and simple. You can kick a field goal, but, based on the way Moon's, move the ball, I think you're trying to think touchdown. Here's Mason Chambers. He's following his block. He gets all the way down to about the 4 or 3. Good little run. He showed a lot of patience tonight,
Such a
Harsh.
patient runner, runs behind his pads, never gets over his knees. It's just really, really fun runner to watch. St. Clair has a handful of really good ball carriers.
Yeah, they do. He was right on Brock Gillespie's back there, and he did a nice job popping out. So, again, these are untimed downs. Here's Dallum. Dallum's got it. He's going off tackle. Here comes Jules. He's in. Julian Dallum, number 2 with the Wildcat. He's going to score a touchdown. So it looks like the Panthers are just going to kick for 1, go for the field goal. So the other part about this, Harks, it's untimed downs. It's 4 downs. It's all in one side of the field. It's not like they go all the way to the other side of the field and the other team gets the
which
ball.
Which is good because it's, frankly, I think pretty dumb. Just keep going back and forth.
Real stupid.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to talk about after the extra point here that we need to talk about, but hopefully we'll get the exchange down. Here's Bennett. Another good snap from Braden. The kick is up. The kick is good. D'Orazio does a nice job. So, Harks, is there a rule? Do we know if there's a rule in high school where after a certain number of scores they have to go for 2? I know there is in college, but I don't know.
I honestly have, you're asking the wrong person.
I don't know if anybody up here knows that rule, but if not, we're going to find out at some point if teams keep scoring.
I guess we'll find out.
But
and I think interesting to your point, though, Moon, you're on the road, tough game, very important game. Do you think about going for 2 when you get? I think when you're that second team, you need 7 to tie, 8 to win. I think it kind of weighs a little heavier when it's like, can we get 2 yards?
The way they move the ball? Yes.
Absolutely,
I do it in a heartbeat. Yes. If Moon gets in, I go for 2 right now. Because, frankly, they're not coming close to stopping St. Clair right now. All right, this is here it is. Game on the line, season on the line. How can the Panther defense respond?
10 yards in the season here.
All right, it's Moon again. It's Bladel. Here he goes. He's going forward. He's going to get probably to the 5 or so. Pretty good gain on first down for Moon. So it's just been a lot of different ball carriers, a lot of different looks, but a lot of the same principles.
We talk about the very good rushing attack St. Clair's had tonight. In their plethora of runners. Moon, it seems like every guy they put back there either has speed, power, or a combination of both.
All right, so now look who
boy.
big surprise, 2nd and 5. And Nazir Brookins is back in, and it's a direct snap to him. He's going straight ahead. Panthers pushing the pile. Moon pushing the pile. He gets about 1.5 yards, maybe 2, so it's 3rd and 3. You know, it's interesting. One of the sort of things that I don't know the rule on either is, can you push like a St. Clair player?
Another player.
Because that's, I think you probably can, because that's more like blocking.
Yep.
You push a St. Clair on the player on the pile.
So Big 26 now out of the game. Surprising here, two plays for 3 yards, and they're taking their big physical runner out. But, I mean, it's –
I'd go off tackle.
I was going to say, for Moon, it's not really
it
doesn't matter who's back there. They've been running the ball really well.
Yeah, I'd go off tackle again. That
It's
play
a
has
little
been
disorganized.
play has been successful all night. All right, 3rd and goal from the 3. It's a fake. They are going off tackle. And
Nice
Dallum's got
play.
him. And it's Julian Dallum, number 2, coming off from the slot with a beautiful play on the defensive side of the ball. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the football game here. 4th and goal from about the 5. I don't love that spot. They gave him all the way to the 4. There's no way he was at the 4.
And we talk about getting Julian the ball on offense. He's a great playmaker, but you know what great playmakers do? They make plays on both sides of the football. Incredible play.
Yeah,
there.
great stuff from Jules, because getting that guy down, he's a strong cat. So 4th and 4. So, all right, Harks, put on your DC hat and put on your OC hat. What do you do with the Panthers, and what are you expecting to see from the Moon? Because every time I thought the Moon was going to do something sort of creative, like they've just gone off tackle and scored.
I was going to say, if I'm not necessarily Moon, but I'm calling the offensive plays here, in my opinion, has to be some kind of run-pass option where you get a guy out in the flat and you get a little read option where you can hand it if you get a good hand read, or you can pull it and either run it as the quarterback or dump it off in the flat. I don't know if this Moon offense is equipped for that. If I had to guess, I think they're either going to go counter or the off-tackle play that we've seen them run to great success in the second half. And I think to that point, St. Clair, you have to be thinking you cannot get beat on the ground here, and you just rely whether it's man up or you're going to run your Watinsky cover 3 that he was talking about.
No, this is, I'm telling you.
It has to be.
Here it is. Number 6 is in the backfield again. He has, Phil Brunau, he's going to go off tackle, I'm betting. Here he's going. He's going off tackle left this time. He's got plenty of room. He's going to score easily. It was the exact same thing over the left. Now, Nate Stoll is furious that he got held. His shoulder pad is out of his jersey, but at the same
And they're
time.
going for 2.
Yeah, I would go for 2 if that. You know what I would run?
Same exact
Same play. I mean, St. Clair has not stopped the off tackle, they've stopped everything else in the second half.
I mean, the great team speed that St. Clair has just seems like Brana has just gotten to the edge of them
Does
many times.
Does Moon have another timeout? I didn't think you got 2 in the overtime format. Maybe they
had 2 on the board.
So maybe you just get an additional timeout to what you had. I don't, again, that's not a rule I know.
All I know is Coach Holzer would have all 3 plus the additional timeout.
Oh, Coach Holzer would have 5 now sometimes. So somehow he would have 5.
Here we go.
I'll tell you right now, I love this from Moon. That's exactly what I would do.
Here it comes, right to the right.
They're going off tackle. Here it is. He's in.
Holding.
No, there's a flag.
Formation.
There were people moving.
Yeah.
There were people moving at the snap. St. Clair wasn't ready, but the Moon team was moving. Boy, the Moon coaches are furious right now. There weren't people moving there weren't people moving at like procedure. People did not get set.
So now, I mean, do you think 7 yards to win? I mean, then you have a 17-yard field goal to tie.
Yeah, so they weren't set. That was not movement. And frankly, St. Clair wasn't set either.
Similar to the situation that we just talked about with Hellman responding. How does Moon respond here? How do the Panthers respond now? Looks like they're going to continue to go for it here.
Watinsky said you go from the 10 until the game is over. It's not nobody has to ever go for 2. My dad said on the replay holding was bad on the touchdown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Nate Stoll was mad. I mean, that's not surprising. Nate plays with an edge, but now they're going to kick. So I think you definitely kick.
You have to, yeah.
I mean, would I consider running off tackle again? I absolutely would. But, when I thought they didn't have a good kicker, I was not as excited about this. But this dude booms it now.
One thing to watch out here, Dahlem has gotten clean on a couple of the PATs. Let's see if he can get home here.
Snap is down. Kick is up, and it's good.
He was so close.
He was close. Well, that was by Walski, it looks like. All right, so unbelievable. So Moon now gets the ball first, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Moon gets it first now, and we're at 35-35 into double overtime. Ladies and gentlemen, this is insane. I am told by Coach Watinsky that there is not that rule. You just go from the 10 until the game ends. There is not a after they score a certain number of touchdowns, you have to go for 2. I did not know that rule. I asked on the broadcast, and fortunately I was answered.
Well, with the way these two offenses are looking,
We may be here a while. But you never know. Somebody drops the ball, something strange happens. And really, St. Clair got it to 4th down. I would love to talk to, like, some of the kids, some of the coaches, and just figure out, like, what's the issue with the off tackle. They're so focused on getting in, filling the gaps and stuff like that that they just can't get wide in time. I don't know. Again, this is where I don't know football.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, an execution thing, too, where it's like Moon keeps continually sealing the edge. I don't know if it's something St. Clair. The one time they did stop it, Banbury actually brought some pressure off the edge and made a good play in the backfield down over here on the 25-yard line. So I wonder if that's maybe an adjustment on these like money down situations, 3rd, 4th, and short. If St. Clair can fire a backer off the outside, I don't know. It just depends on kind of what you're feeling and your confidence in like your edge players to set it.
Yeah, it's incredible. So, wow, this is
I mean, what a game.
Yeah, I mean, what a game's right. It has been quite an evening, and I have to admit, Harks, this game has gone in a way how I expected. In a way, it's been a total shock to me, and that's sort of one of the fun parts about high school football, where, you know, expect the unexpected in many ways. All right, so I'll be interested to see now what Moon comes up with. Like, you know, you'll never, you know, to me, you never get.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Apparently, my son, who is somehow still awake, poor Dylan. When is Daddy coming home? At this rate, with double overtime, like never.
With these two O's, I don't think so. Maybe you'll be back for breakfast.
All right, it's Bladel. He's going wide. He's got room. He's going to get in. Wow, they're good. So it looked like they strung it out, and he sort of cut back to the right.
St. Clair did a good job. They brought some inside pressure and were able to string it out, but just weren't there enough. And Moon, again, getting to that edge and getting to the end zone.
I guess now I don't understand why Moon isn't going wide every play, because it's working pretty much any time they want. So Bladel makes the score 41-35, extra point pending.
Yeah, huge kick here.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder if you're going to see a bad snap, a bad hold. I mean, we've seen that at various levels. Nope, everything's good. Exchange is good. Kick is through, and we are 42-35, Moon with the lead, and St. Clair getting the ball at the 10.
I mean, again, same thing we said with Moon offense. If it's not broke, don't fix it. St. Clair, there's no secrets. You've been running the ball really well. Dahlem at quarterback, little read option play. I mean, Mason, Banbury, and Dahlem, I mean, I think you put the ball in one of their 3 hands and just ride it until it breaks, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Moon look like they you know have shot some linebackers at times, but again, that cuts both ways. If you you know get away from that,
make one of those guys miss, and then you're in the end zone. Yep.
So another question that's been asked on the broadcast here is, do you go for 2 if you score if you're USC, particularly if you score quickly?
So I think it's difficult. Usually you have a menu of a handful, like maybe 2 or 3 4th and short, or 3 or 4 4th and short, or 2-point plays. I think if you have a play that you've practiced continuously this season and you're confident in, absolutely you go for it. If not, you're at home, it's your season. I don't know, you have a really good kicker.
Interesting. So
I think delay a game there.
Did they really get a delay a game? Timeout. So wow, it's odd after that long break you would need a timeout. I don't know whether they wanted to switch the play.
You get the guys out there and the play clock starts at 25 as everyone's running out in the field, and you're really typically starts at 25, you're breaking the huddle, and it can just be a little bit of an organization.
Yeah, they looked uncomfortable in that formation. I wonder if they saw something on the defensive side of the ball that they didn't like or didn't expect. But you know, you get a timeout there, you can go ahead and use it.
For sure.
So all right, let's see. They you know that now Big Michael Albert's coming in. I don't know if it's going to be double tight end or something like that. Hellman's been really effective in that wingback spot. And Albert's played pretty much every play on the defensive line, so he's got to be a bit exhausted.
A little bit of gamesmanship here by the Panthers. I mean, you have the Moon coaches like 2 doors down here. No, never mind. I was going to say you just bring the big body in there just so they're yelling down, oh, they have a tight end coming in. But
so it's double tight end. one guy you got to watch for here. So now this is Dallum. They had Hellman in last play. Now it's Dallum, double tight end. So they're going for a little bit of a bigger, heavier set here, are the Panthers. It's snapped to Dallum. Oh, boy, that was a great play in the backfield. I couldn't tell. He was trying to cut, and he then tried to get to the outside. And a loss of 3, and that is a huge play, Harks, because now you're behind.
St. Clair sometimes, like getting off those blocks, making plays. Great example there by the Moon defender, setting the edge, working off a block, and then making a play in the backfield.
So, the one thing that has stopped St. Clair tonight is the losses, to put them behind the sticks and off schedule, and hopefully the Panthers can get back on schedule, because now you're sort of in a passing situation.
Probably need some boot.
Here comes Hellman. He's got time. He's throwing the slant. It's up, and it's by Wolski for the touchdown. Nice throw, nice catch, good slant pattern. Let's see what we're doing here. It looks like this might be 2. Yep. Looks like Junk's going for 2. I would go for 2 here myself.
So would I.
The defense is exhausted, and
you haven't stopped.
No, they haven't stopped our run, our power middle run with like Banbury or Chambers for the entire half. You'd like to think that if they have a sort of a power type running play that they like, sort of their bread and butter, this would be where you'd use it.
And again, we talked, and he mentioned it when Moon had the ball on the 3-4 yard line. I think this is a play where if you have confidence in your quarterback, which St. Clair clearly does, they ask him to do a lot, both quarterbacks, frankly, where you have some kind of RPO with a QB run attached to it, just to give yourself as many answers to what the defense could throw at you.
So they're in shotgun, Mason's sidecar, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a run here. I'm surprised. Moon's calling timeout now that they see the formation. I'd be interested to see if there's a little bit of, gamesmanship like you said last time. So we're 42-41, Moon with the lead. We're in double overtime. The Panthers are going for 2, going for the win, which, based upon the difficulty we've had in stopping them and how exhausted the D is, I think I would do it. I think the offense has moved the ball well.
The style Moon plays well, so we said St. Clair's had a lot of success running the ball up the middle on them in this second half, especially the style that Moon plays, and frankly the sheer number of players Moon has. I think the longer this game goes, the more the advantage leans towards Moon. So I really do love the call here.
Well, at least Shannon Major Slatter is still watching. Thanks, Shannon. I appreciate it. I'm ready for bed, and it's nice to see you guys up and still give me support. Another class of '96, longtime friend. I don't know, Harks. I do love the run-pass option, particularly when you have such athletic guys with the ball in their hands. But it's hard for me to get away from the fact that when we've gone sort of a power look, they haven't had. So this is a different look from the Panthers now. They're full power. You got 2 fullbacks in the game here. You got Hellman and you got Carter Stein. Here's Mason Chambers. They're sending people. They fake it to Chambers. They've got a man. He's open. It's a touchdown or a 2-point conversion. Hellman to Hellman. That is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Great call from the sidelines. The Panthers come from behind multiple times in the fourth quarter in double overtime with the 2-point conversion on a great call out of the power formation and win 43-42.
I've said it the whole game. Response. Talk about Ethan Hellman. Mistake at the end of the game. Put the ball in his hands to win the game and give yourself a shot to keep this season alive.
Oh, those Hellman boys are winners,
awesome.
Man. They are tough, mentally tough kids. What a football game. Harks, give me your final thoughts here. It's an exhausting night, and I think we're all tired of talking, but how do you put a button on this one?
Absolutely incredible, gutsy performance by the Panthers. This is a team that when they can clean things up, they can beat just about anyone, and I think, just a very, very impressive win for the players and Coach Junk and his staff.
Well, so if the Panthers win next week, they still got a real legitimate shot at the playoffs right now, and that is the positive. They moved to 7-2 and got to win at South Fayette next week, but great stuff from the Panthers. Really proud of them. Harks, thanks for being here, brother. It's always great spending time with you. You did a great job as usual. For Ryan Harkerode, this is Gavin Williams. We will see you. Hopefully we'll get a playoff game, but if not, it's been an unbelievable season. Thanks to everybody involved, and we'll see you soon.